Norcali. Welcome to the start of another week. Bank holiday Monday here in Tipperary and also the rest of Ireland. Yes, we didn't just have our own, bank holiday. But tonight we continue with our How to Stall or Learn How to Stall series. Yes, tonight in part 3 we're going to recap over the first two parts, which covered a couple of different modules teaching us all about short takeoff and landing. Anything from our bush flying skills to what equipment to the type of aircraft. And then we progress to part 3, the third part, where we're going to be trying out some national STOL flying. We're using the eSTOL scenery. Some of this is freeware available over on flightsim.to. There is a scenery pack on the marketplace for Microsoft Flight Sim, currently only for 2020 right now. But they're doing things in the background that's going to have all this up and running, hopefully sooner rather than later. But we're going to be joined tonight, a special guest. It's Norcali, and he's going to be here to explain to us the rules and regulations and basically what the story is when it comes to the eSTOL. It's a full championship, it's competitive, but it's also an awful lot of fun, where the objective is not only to look fantastic while you attempt to take off in the shortest distance and land in the shortest distance, but also sound like you know what you're doing. So it's going to be great fun. So we'll be doing all that this evening. And, I hope you're all keeping terribly well. It's the day after the day before. We were flying some Black Square with the turboprop Bonanza yesterday, and to be still watching it going, I want to fly that again. So that's going to be made available tomorrow for anyone looking forward to it. And it's all go. There's loads of things to keep us going in the sim all of a sudden. It's brilliant. But I've really enjoyed this so far. We were joined by Okando a couple of weeks ago, starting us off on this series, sharing some of his insights, the skills that he's acquired over a very long career, all about kind of the bush flying skills, and of course how to make them apply when it comes to stall flying. And we've looked at a number of different aircraft. Now I'm going to stay with the Norden, the Gottfriends Norden. I just like the cut of its jib. It's very nice. But we're going to be checking out some of the sceneries, what a competition field or the grounds actually look like, right? As we learn about some of the rules, the categories, and the scoring system when it comes to this competition. And it's open for anyone to enter. So this shall be interesting. But anyway, how was your weekend? Did you do anything today? I had steak and chips for dinner. Lovely. That's steak and fries. Right. I don't want to say, well, I had an eventful day. I was busy today, but it was more about breaking things, as I do, breaking things and getting other things to work when they shouldn't, and then realised they don't work. Thursday night is going to be some crack, I can tell you. But anyway, let us all ramble in, welcome everyone in, and then we'll get started with a little bit of revision, and then itzNorCally is going to join us, and then we're going to do some flying. Yes, we're going to try our hand at some competition flying, where I will attempt to do the thing and then turn into the person who watches the yoke. You have to attempt, right? You have to, once you're staying up to date with what I'm saying and you understand me, well then you've nothing to worry about. If, however, you're like 99% of the people currently tuned in and you haven't a bull's nose in what I'm saying, well, fear not. Someone else, more skilled than I, will explain what's going to happen. Yes. Right, quick, we'll jump into the owl chat here now, and sure, listen, we'll say hello, some calm music before we all start going bananas here, you know what I mean? Kill Switch, good to see you. Brown Dog is in the house with the eSTOL stickers, man. Very welcome aboard. Chris Van Halen, welcome in. Vacuum is in the house. Retriever Neil, good evening. Muse Van bursts in the door with one of those helicopter baseball caps. How he is, his mad jokes is. Muse, did you sort out your audio after? Is it all working grand, is it? Poor old devil had a hell of a night on Friday. CP65, welcome in. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard. Anov is here. Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're well. The man who is the genesis of eSTOL. You're very welcome in, buddy. Who else come in? Crafty Tigers, good to see you. 11 months with Prime, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Now, let me see. Move screen. Yes, Airlock Doc is here. Happy Monday, peoples. I think tonight we need to keep an eye out for the coppers. Rumour has it Murph stole a plane again. Stole. Airlock, good to see you, buddy. 98 Vulcan is here. Welcome in. Devort, welcome in. What? Jesus, 100 streams in a row, look. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. Cold feet, warm hands. Looking forward to this, as am I. Welcome in, welcome in. Crafty Tigers is here. Malky Mac, good evening. Stick Figure is here. Hello, fellow flyers of fake plagues. Welcome, you're looking great. But yes, Malky's here, yes. Stick Figure, yes. Where are we at? We're over here. Lead Ballooner, good evening. The Impossible Face, welcome aboard. A Crotty is here. Hope everyone had a good bank holiday weekend if they are here in Ireland. Yes. What do you do on a bank holiday Monday? I mean, do you be lazy, or then do you consider that a wasted day? I mean, what do you do when you have a day off? You know what I mean? But yes, Max Stallion, hope you're well. 245 streams streak. I don't think we've seen that number before, have we? 245. Jesus. Max Stallion, thank you very much indeed, buddy. Heisenberg, tier 2, 12 months. Jesus. He says, good afternoon, Murph and Fireflies. Hey, Murph, if I subscribe to Okando's channel, will I become a Candonian Firefly? Jesus. Wait now, you become a Hang on, I need to work on this. You'd become a Fire Can Flydonian. Right? Brilliant. Jesus, at the end of it, right? But yes, thank you very much indeed, Heisenberg. Strap21, hola, it's Norcali is here in the chat. Good to see you, man. We'll be joining us shortly, my dude. You know, you have time for a cup of tea and some horizontal administration. But then we'll be over to you. Soaring AJH, man, hope you're well. Toto2495 is here. Good evening, all. Having to lurk for now as I'm away from the PC. You should have waited till Friday to tell us that, because that's terrifying. You're in the world without a PC. Super Typhon's here. Good to see you, buddy. It's been raining all day since 3 a.m. Are you in Ireland, are you? Upside down person. It's Jock. Mrs. TPHI has rumbled in. Good to see you, Mrs. Mac Vision, welcome aboard. Kazaki Flyer, welcome in. Back in 2020, it works. Ooh, what works? Everything in general. Spitfire RF 100 is here in the chat. Very happy Monday to you. Captain Butters, welcome in, man. Hope you're well. Nighthawk, hello, my dude. APU Inspector's in the house. Happy Monday, Murph and chat. Before we know it, the weekend is back. Yes, and we're at the new time of 2000 Zulu. Haven't been here for a while. Been nearly 6 months, but you're welcome back. 20 Zulu. Now, let me see. APU Inspector, 14 months of Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Unbelievable support. Gaseous Maximus, welcome in. Stu Snape is here. My dude, good to see you. Apache is in the house. Welcome aboard. Viper Strike rambles in. Good afternoon, Murph and Fireflies. After this, Murph's next challenge will involve a STOL landing at Liverpool's Anfield. Yes. Mech Manser, welcome aboard. Agent Presta is here. Muttley, welcome in, buddy. Shovel Shoes shovels in. AJH John, hope you're well. Who else come in? Dougal McTavish, the chairman, has arrived. Front row centre. Staying up very late with XP72, doing fly-ins to places when he should be in bed. But he says, no, I'll fly instead. Dougal, I'm telling you, one of these nights, I'll jump in. Wait now, I'll jump on. No, wait, explain yourself. I'll join you for one of these flights with XP. Yes, that sounded less conspicuous. The Impossible Face, 6 months, man. Excessively loud stall horn noises. You better believe it. Thank you very much indeed for your 6 months. Kanzui is here. Hello, hello, hello. Guess who purchased their Sunday air tattoo tickets? That's right, this guy. Awesome news. They're on sale already, Kanzui. Jesus. Hermit Something, hope you're well. Schutz is in the house. Tarnish Mossman, welcome aboard. Zybok calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Where is this now? Buttons. Jesus. Light Bison. It's the Boomtown Rats' least favourite day of the week. Tell me why. PQ is here. Foxfly Studio. Hello. Hope you're well, buddy. Welcome in. Linny Bobbins, it's yourself. Happy Monday, Linny. How are things? 3 in a row. Thank you very much indeed, Tarnich. Etch Glow gifted 6 months of a tier 1 to Anov. 6 months of it, Etch. Jesus. Thank you very, very much indeed, man. They are now Anov. You're stuck with us for at least 6 months. Jesus. You won't age a day, I promise. You know. Well, you might age a little bit, but we'll talk about that, you know. Where's our steak and chips, Murph, says Commander Snow. Come over for dinner, sir. You know, make a reservation. It'll be on that day at 10 to. Yeah, be sure you're here now, right? Sumner, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. Mrs. TPHI subscribing for 8 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, Mrs. TPHI. Very kind of you. Sunjammer is in the house. Murphy has lost his mindset. Wait, has lost his mind at last. It's happened many times before. Wait now. Do you know where the reverses are in your plane today? Dougal says, I've managed to break the trim button off me Virpil stick today. Don't ask why. Okay. I'm dying to know. You can't say that. Jesus. Flyer10, welcome in. Dazza Arab. Well now, how's it hanging? Good to see you, Dazza. In general, you know. That's right, yeah. Welcome in. It seems to be okay now, says Muse. I'm not even sure which of the things I tried to fix it. I just need to remember not to press any buttons. Yes, that'll work. Eamon1973 is here, ready for some more stolage. Welcome in, Eamon. QC Frank, 30 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, buddy. Hope you're well. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. MV is here. Welcome in. Where's this now? PH Roy, a very good evening. Good evening, stallers. Let the warning be sounding, right? That's what you want, man. Old Veteran 965, Tier 2 for 58 months, Scott. He says, howdy, y'all. Happy Monday to y'all. Ah, brilliant. I've been working on my accent now. Right. Y'all. Brilliant, right? Y'all is also a place name in County Waterford. Y'all. Well, it's actually Cork, isn't it? Y'all is Cork, isn't it? Y'all. Or y'all, but that's, yeah, we just say y'all. One Fly Air, good to see you, buddy. I will follow all the STOL series on YouTube. You're a big fan of it. Ooh, nice. Hermit something. How does a bank holiday work? They take all your money and then celebrate it with a day off. Yes, pretty much. Sorting AJ had a CTD already. Oh, Jesus. He said the same thing about Farm Sim. You'll never see him, Dougal. Wait, what? Now, hang on. Right, there's a list. And I was talking to Muse Fan, and then he said he was off to play some Cyberpunk. And I said, you know, I haven't played Cyberpunk yet. So now Cyberpunk has found itself on a list, you know, with Farm Sim and Train Sim and, you know, all these other games are supposed to be playing. Yeah, there's a list. I just haven't got around. I don't know where I left the list. That's what it is. Filthy, welcome aboard. Hope you're well. Piper on 25 streams in a row. Cheers, buddy. Hope you're well. The Sin Boogie, thank you for 5 in a row. Marv, whereabouts is this airport? The ICAO code is 42 Victor Alpha. It's a custom scenery available for free over on flightsim.to. And it looks lovely. Zard, hope you're well, buddy. Now let me see. AD Castell, welcome in, buddy. Now let me see. There's more. Zard, is it Wilga time? Yes, it's Wilga time. Bring the Wilga. We'll bring the time. Sort of. It's Jane Doe is here. Hello, Jane, hope you're well. Jane, have you ever tried your hand at eSTOL? You know, national stall. The rules are quite simple. You take off in the shortest amount of time possible, and you must land in the shortest amount of distance possible. Wait.
Allow myself to introduce
myself. It's nothing to do with time, it's distance. I know, I've already messed up. Time and distance, Murphy, right? X equals V, Y, apostrophe, underscore. Right, jeez. Right, quick. Gar Gaming has rambled in. Hello to County Galway. Hope all is well, Gar. Dougal says, hammering off the old wheels off my chair. Missed the chair, hammer hits Virpil. Dougal cried. Hang on, you were hammering the wheels off your chair. That's hilarious. And then you missed the wheel and you hit the Virpil. Ah, shit. Was there new words created, Dougal? I mean, you know, you don't have to repeat them here now, but like, I thought I heard something earlier on, mind you. I thought it was the wind, you know. But anyway, happy Monday. Indeed. Happy and Monday does not go together, says Anov. What are you talking about? We can lie. But yes, now let me see. Jim is here. Greetings. Welcome aboard. Old Slim Jim, welcome in. Hope all is well, buddy. Right, now, we don't play that either. No, we haven't. 25 seconds so far. Oh, good man. Photos by Kev is here. Good evening, Kev. Hope you're well. QC Frank is in the house. It only took me 45 minutes to realise you switched the stream time due to the winter hour. Yes, the weather has played terror with the timings. We're back to 20 Zulu. But yes, we're still here. Don't worry. Cian Lafford is in the house from Care in County Tipperary. Good to see you, Cian. Hope all is well. Y'all's in Cork. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's not yet, but I love watching it. Ooh, nice. Right. Oh, Jesus, now. Fitting brake wheels or 6-inch nails through the carpet. You need some super glue. It'll be grand. Let's not worry about it. All is well. Right, a very quick hello to our friends watching us over on YouTube. Sergeant Sausages is in the house. Hope you're well, buddy. Mr. Edit is here. Good to see you, man. Visualize, welcome aboard. And Test Pilot, you mad devil, subscribing for 44 months is Test Pilot. 44 months, man. Jesus. Right, Northland Air. Very happy Monday to you. Hope all is well. Who else come in the door? Daniel is here. Wayland Chutani, guten Abend. Mav Wings. Hi all, really fancy joining the flight tonight. How do I join? Exclamation point, how to multiplayer, all one word. Lowercase. Joe Mack is here. Hi all from Dublin. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're well, man. Right, Black Sheep Jean, intro to match the subject of tonight's vid. Welcome in, Jean. You're looking well. Mud Dog is here. Good to see you. Mr. TPHI is in the chat. Very happy Monday to you, sir. Hope you're well. Now, let me see. Dave Cleary, Idle Cutoff. You've changed the name 3 times, but you're a legend, Dave. That was out of tune. Legend, Dave. That was better. Welcome in, Dave. She sees everything, right? I mean, Santa makes a list, he checks it twice. She makes a list, right? She doesn't need to check it or something, right? Moving on abruptly. Daniel Day is here. Good to see you. We're going to be using the Norden, man. We're going to use the Norden. Colonel Fork is in the house. Good to see you. Go on, man, yourself, Colonel Fork. He can't just come in and say hello. It's like, no. How might I get the poor devil in trouble today? Right? Brilliant. Frozen Gamer, good to see you. It is that of a Monday, but don't worry. It's the last Monday, as Keane Lafford would say, before the weekend. Things are looking up. Things are looking up, right? I make a statement. Brilliant. Winkle Gassler, welcome in. 24 months, 2 years. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Insane support. Let us get out the big spoon, right? Wolf to Fear is here. That rhymed. Well, welcome in. You're very welcome in. It's great to see you. Right, I'll press some buttons over here, look. Yes. And we'll come over to this screen. Now, with my very sophisticated setup, you might just hear a little squeaky noise from the microphone. Hang on. Right, now, grand. And, well, anyway, you're all very welcome in. We have some sounds. Yes. Go big or go home. Right, I'm about to fly the British Airways 748. Ooh, that sounds very nice. He has mice. It's terrible, isn't it? That you squeaking, Murph. The microphone needs it. It does. But sure, listen, it's hanging on in there. You know, it's just reminding us of all the hardship it does. You know, right now, what am I doing? Oh yeah, we're doing one of these. Look, right. So what we're going to do. We're going to start off. I want to show you some of the scenery first off, right? Because this is, they're part of the championship used for the eSTOL series, right? And it's the ideal kind of training grounds to get us up and running to figure out, well, this is what a circuit or a course indeed looks like, right? So we have a couple of people flying along here already. And, well, the main things to kind of check out here, right? We have the start-finish line, which is down here, I think. Now, these do go opposite direction, or do they? Yeah, well, they should. But anyway, you have your start-finish line, and the objective is, well, your wheels will start on that line. You'll take off in the shortest possible distance. Then when you do a circuit and you come into land, your wheels need to go past that line. If you touch down before it, you need to go past it. And then what they do, the judges come along and measure your distance, right? Now, we'll learn more about the rules and all the jazz here now in a moment, but I wanted to check out some of the scenery. If you guys go onto YouTube, I mean, you can find National STOL Championships stuff, right? I mean, here's a dude right here who loves eSTOL. I mean, he loves it. You know, I know that face. That's unbelievable. That's weird. The last time I saw Frankie, he was exactly like that, right? Frankie Poops is in the scenery. That's amazing, man. But I imagine there's a whole load of celebrities up here. Trust me, I'm Polish. Or is he Polish? You know. But it's kind of cool, isn't it? Yes, he says in a proud and happy voice. Meanwhile, we'll sit down beside you now. It's grand. As we look at the... Jesus, look at your man, look. Who's that, look? Visualised in the skill.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Brilliant. B. Carlo, welcome in. 41 months is B. Carlo. Thank you very much indeed. Egged Barley, 55 months. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers. Oh, Jim, we found the bar. This is the most important part of the scenery. But anyway, there's Stella Artorius, look. Wait now. That looks to be a wild burstix in there, followed by other people. I'm not in the scenery. Right, you know... I mean, I am the scenery. No, I'm not in the scenery. But isn't this pretty cool, though? That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So what we have here, as I say, it's pretty much the layout of the airfield, right? And it's our track. This is where we're going to be doing, where we're going to be learning, practicing, and getting used to all of this. But what I love about the eSTOL Championship, especially when it comes to, flight simulation, I mean, in particular with Flight Sim 2024, because it's built for this stuff, considering you have, the updated trees, better ground textures, everything just looks better at ground level, or very close to it. Think of the fun you can have by doing these community fly-ins, to track yourself to the next event. I mean, you can really, if you think about it, you could really build up a massive amount of flights just following along with the series. So it's pretty cool, right? As I said, we're going to do a quick recap over the last couple of weeks that we've been learning, because it goes beyond just the championship side, right? Empire Kicking! Thank you very, very much indeed for the raid, man. Good to see you, bud. Hope you had a great stream. So the scenery itself, you can pick it up over on flightsim.to. It's in the description. If you scroll down on the video on YouTube, you'll see it. And for everyone else, it's over on our Discord. All right. Empire for 40 months as well, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Hope you're well, buddy. So we'll start off just with a quick recap, because we had a fair bit of stuff to learn, right? So what we covered over the last number of weeks, and as I said, we were joined by Kando on the first part. Last week we did our own with some flying. Remember, we were messing with the wind and stuff. And tonight, as we learn about eSTOL, we're going to be joined by itzNorCally. To start us off at the beginning, what is STOL? The letters STOL, you put them all together. You may have seen it before, maybe when it came to the characteristics of an aircraft, perhaps, or if you're reading down through its capabilities. Well, STOL stands for short takeoff and landing. That's what it means. Aircraft can be, built to the specification that would make them STOL aircraft, meaning that they have the capability to take off very short and land very short. And we've seen this on all types of airplanes, right? Anything from the small general aviation aircraft up to the military ones, and even some of the massive tube liners as well, have some sort of STOL capability built in with them. Now, whether or not you use them for competitions, probably not. But the idea being is that short takeoff and landing, well, there is a huge need for it. We discussed this before. We looked at things like, search and rescue, firefighting, even air ambulance. We've looked at these things, why aircraft would need to have short takeoff and landing capabilities. Now, you could say, well, helicopters, they beat them all every day. Well, they do. Rotary aircraft have that massive advantage that they can hover. They can just get into a place, hover down, and they're going good. Reality, though, they're limited by their range. Operational hours on a rotary wing versus that of a fixed wing, and also the cost and the expertise. There's pros and cons to each one. The core principle of short takeoff and landing, from a pilot's perspective, the core principle, it's all about energy management. That's what we're doing. We manage the energy of the aircraft, be it vertical or indeed lateral. We fly slow, we fly precise, and it's all controlled. That's what we do, all right? The real world origins, well, we know about the backcountry stuff, bush flying, the humanitarian side, utility. We also spoke about agri-farming, agricultural farming, and so on. And, well, it later evolved then into a precision sport. And that's where National STOL kind of took their roots from. They made this into a sport. And this is the sort of sport involving aviation. When you consider it, there are other competitions and whatnot. The Reno Air Races, for example, the upcoming Red Bull Air Races that we're hopefully going to see in the sim soon. But eSTOL is its own kettle of fish, and rather than having to be at the very pinnacle of like extreme flying, getting around a circuit, right? This comes down to skills that anyone can actively work on. Anyone, all right? And that's why we do it, right? Very expensive per hour, yes. Now Roswell air races, yeah, that's right. There's loads of different ones coming together, right? So why does it matter in Microsoft Flight Sim? Why, as kind of, you know, general aviation pilots, or maybe you like the airliners, we don't necessarily stick to any one strict discipline. We do a little bit of everything, right? Why is it important? Well, the importance of this is it sharpens our fundamentals as pilots in the simulated world. Now, some of these things transfer back out onto the real world. I mean, in your simulator, you're learning the theory behind it, right? But it teaches us things to the aircraft in which we're flying. You're talking pitch, power control, situational judgment, and precision landings. It's teaching us all of these things. And it's a very different way to fly your aircraft. Usually, we'll go from point A to point B or to point C. We'll be flying by visual flight rules, or indeed we'll go IFR and we'll go the airline routes. With this sort of backcountry bush flying, that we must lean in on the STOL side of the house, right? This is where we really refine our skills, and it will make you a better and indeed a safer pilot, both in the simulated world and in the real world. And the reason why that happens is because you're able to fly your aircraft at the slowest possible speed, rather than going on the far side or very close to the edge of the flight envelope, usually, you know, VNE speed, maximum speed. We're down the far end. We're down at the very beginning. We're holding off a stall, usually with only a couple of knots in the difference, right? And I've always said, if you can learn how to fly a plane, not by going fast, not by trying to grease the landings, right? You learn a plane by flying it slow, because you really start, that's where you appreciate the flight characteristics of it. Absent feel and motion, right? As sim pilots, well, we have to rely on other things. Our eyes do most of the work, then our ears do all our work. It's all about the sounds. When you fly the aircraft slower, these senses, because, well, you can hear the environmental sounds, the aircraft is now trying to do stuff that you don't want it to do, you suddenly become very aware of the capabilities of what that aircraft can do. That takes a long time if you're flying it by the numbers. Very long. So you're going to learn aircraft quicker by flying them at their slowest possible speed. And that relates to all aircraft, every single one of them, be it the airliners or, you know, the general aviation. Pretty cool, right? So we also learned about the STOL aircraft examples. Well, what was a STOL aircraft? Well, the Cub, right? The old Piper Cub, the Carbon Cub, of course. We looked at the Husky, the Wilga, the DHC Beaver was in there, the PC-6, the Cessna 208, the Norden, you know, the American Champion Scout. There's a barrel load of these aircraft now, and more of them are being developed. Even the most recent aircraft from Gottfriends, that A32, the Aeropract, that's also a STOL-capable airplane. So we're seeing lots and lots of these aircraft, and there's a reason for them. It's not because they just look pretty. They have good capabilities. They have STOL equipment fitted to them, be it the big massive Tundra tires, or they have heavy lift capability, right? Anything from flaps, slats, all that sort of stuff, we need to look at it. So we moved on then to Module 2, the bush flying environment. And this is where Kando took us for a spin, and we were talking a lot about kind of the wind, the impact wind can have on your flying experience. And I don't mean just kind of your standard airport or airfield wind. You know, you look at your windsock, it's blowing from right to left. Yeah, the wind is blowing that way. Not at all. Kando made it very relevant when we were flying up high in mountain conditions, because, well, updrafts and downdrafts, right? And the idea behind this is, if the wind is blowing in from left to right, or right to left, depending on what way your screen is, if the wind is blowing this way and it hits a mountain, right? Well, the wind hits off the side of the mountain, it blows upwards, right? We'll do a bit of Bob Ross here. Wait till you see the state of this, lads, right? So here we are with a blank canvas. I'm going to draw a mountain here. You ready? Look. Here's the mountain, Jays. But that's the mountain, right? It's erosion didn't really do much to it. But if the wind is coming in this direction, right? I'll zoom down here so you can actually see it behind my mallet head, right? Can I? Oh Jesus, don't do that. Can I not do this without like showing you? Hang on, we'll do it this way. Look. So here's our mountain. I told you I was going to do a better mountain, except for that bit. Jesus. Here's our mountain anyway. Look. I don't have enough room there. Right, here's a mountain, right? And the wind is blowing this way. Right, we following? Well, what happens is, because the wind is blowing that way, it means the speed hits and it goes that direction. See that? So the wind is actually getting pushed upwards like that. So if we're flying in our airplane over here, right? Minus me mallet head. If we're in our airplane over here, this is us flying that way. The plane is shagged. Well, what happens is, as we move forward, we're going to hit all this wind going upwards, hence an updraft. So it's going to give us free energy. It's going to push our airplane up this direction, right? And that's something we need to be aware of when you're mountain flying. However, as the wind continues, it then starts this sort of an action. It goes down the far side, and this creates what we call downdrafts, where you have the wind now getting pushed down the way. And if we were back in a little airplane over here somewhere facing this direction, it's a snail plane, what happens is the wind is going to push our plane down, meaning that we're going to lose all of that energy, right? Compliments of the Holy Family Community School for my skills in art. I didn't do art in school, right? I don't want to save me work, you mad? But you get the idea. You need to watch for that in the environment. Check your surroundings in the sim. It's of vital importance. And the reason being is, well, if you look at where we are here, it's relatively flat terrain. It is flat terrain. However, there are obstacles on the ground. Now, might it have such an impact on us? Well, we don't know. It just might. Things like hangar buildings or trees, for example. Farmers have been using trees for, since, cows were children, right? The idea being is that they're designed to break the wind, stop the wind from hitting certain areas. So these are things you'd want to consider. Wind, very important. All right? Right, we continue. Great drawing. Terrain, that was the trees. Also slopes, right? So big mountains and hills and whatnot.
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
But what about slopes? Trying to land either, uphill or downhill, and the reasons why you'd want to be thinking of, well, it's one thing being able to land an airplane. You need to get back out of that location as well, so you have to consider that, right? A lot of the strips that you'll fly in and out of in the backcountry, some of them could be one-way direction, as in you physically cannot land on the other side of the runway. There could be mountains. We've seen it in the sim. There could be massive trees. Therefore, you might have to go in with a bit of a tailwind. All right. Things to worry about. The surface as well. Grass or gravel versus asphalt or concrete. Why might grass or gravel be better for us? In particular, if we're trying to stop short. Why might it be better? Todd, thank you very much indeed for 13 months. Cheers, buddy. Thank you, Keen. Yes, it makes sense. Trees break wind. That's why they smell. Right? There's more resistance on the grass or gravel, right? It's softer, it's harder to move through, right? So you want to watch for those. The surface is very important. We also learned a little bit about density altitude. This is just one of those weird and wonderful things that the following, if it's hot outside, if you're high up and you're heavy, hazard, right? The three H's equal a hazard. If it's hot, temperature-wise, you're high up in the mountains and your aircraft is heavy, that's a recipe for a disaster. Density altitude will increase the altitude performance of your aircraft, even though you might be at something like 6,000 feet. Well, if density altitude is at play, that could technically make it 8,000 feet or even 9,000 feet. That's what your engine is going to be thinking it is. And when I say thinking, it's the environmental pressures that have changed. Density altitude will have such an impact on your aircraft. So density altitude is something we need to check on. Now, thankfully, a lot of the work in Title Avionics have density altitude built into them. A lot of the third-party aircraft have it built in, but even some of the first-party and the Asobo aircraft, they actually have density altitude built into the transponder. You can click the function button and it will find density altitude. Always check it out. If you're high up in the mountains or whatever, and if it's hot outside, check your density altitude. It'll have a huge impact on the performance of your aircraft engine. All right? Right. Then we had a quick look at how does one scout a landing strip. It might sound fairly easy, and it kind of is, but what are we looking for? How to do a low pass? What are we checking for? We're checking for the wind, so we're looking for wind socks or trees or if there's smoke on the ground, right? You're also checking for the surface type. Is it grass, gravel? We're also checking for obstacles. Again, something new in Flight Sim 2024, there is consequence to where you're trying to land, especially if you're not at a standard airport. They've put rocks and lumps and trees and stuff all over the place. There's consequence to your landing, so you have to plan for it, all right? So that's what we did. Understanding where you're landing is just as important of understanding how to land. And a lot of people get caught out there. Don't tell me that's Rex, is it? Rex, you're some man. When you're planning to land and knowing where you want to land, how far back do you want to get the aircraft stable? And what I mean by stable, it means that you're maintaining speed without having to, adjust the power. You're sustaining the attitude of your flight of the aircraft without having to do too many inputs. It's only at that level that you are stable. Your approach is stable. So if we're going to be landing or targeting to land down here at the zeros, because ideally we want to land before that first red marker. That's our objective in a competition. Now, whether or not we can take off within that, it's anyone's guess. But we want to certainly be landing. Our touchdown zone or our aiming point is going to be, I would say here, the big STOL sign, the eSTOL sign. If that's our aiming point, well, that's where we want our wheels to hit. Because if we go too far this way, well, our scores won't be counted. And if we go down here, well, we could overshoot even further, right? Now, again, itzNorCally, he's going to share some of his hints and tips with us as well. He's been watching and following this series and commentating on it for quite some time. And while I'm here, I need to do a big shout out as well to Howard Forder. Forder did a lot of coverage on the STOL stuff, I think last year, and a very good and easy way to explain how all of this stuff works. So we know it's popular within the flight sim community. You just need to try it because it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Right, Module 3 then was all to do with the aircraft configuration. That's where we choose what aircraft it is we want to fly. Now, when it comes to eSTOL, well, there's going to be aircraft categories. We're going to learn a little bit more about that this evening. But I think that, as Kando said, the first rule, you're going to pick an aircraft you are most comfortable with, right? Pick the airplane that you're most happy flying, you feel more at home with, and you just feel very competent and confident with it, right? That's the aircraft you want. Doesn't have to be pretty, doesn't have to be, the aircraft that you're most happy to fly. And that could be anything. It could be a tail dragger, could be a nose dragger, it could be your Cessnas, right? Your 185 or even a 150 or a 172, or it could be the likes of the Piper Cubs, right? And Kit Fox. I mean, look, there's so many options now, so many options. The weight and balance of the aircraft. We spent a bit of time on the weight and balance. Remember last week, we turned the wind on full blast against the runway. We were able to get airborne without even using any thrust. We just deployed the flaps and the airplane would take off because we were simulating basically a wind tunnel, right? With the center of gravity, that had a huge impact on the aircraft. So yes, you want to remove as much weight as possible with the airplane, but you also want to be careful where you're moving the center of gravity. If it's going to be leaning too far forward or too far back. Now, there are advantages to having slightly forward or slightly back, depending on the aircraft, but you need to understand the impact it'll have on the aircraft, if it goes wrong, because you'll either have to overcompensate by applying trim, in which your aircraft is now technically creating more drag. That's going to be slower, or and stall, or it could be the other way around, that it's nose heavy. So even if you're trying to dead stick it in, that nose is going to tip over as soon as you apply the brakes. You know what I mean? Rex, I know you love the owl A400, but would you mind terribly just changing that machine for this? Because it just looks friggin' weird, man. Then again, he could do an A400 eSTOL. Has that ever happened before? You know, but I think for this, because everyone's in smaller aircraft, that behemoth is just going to kind of block everyone. Do you know what I mean? Right, the other thing then, we looked at the aircraft modifications. Now, I don't mean mods that you download and apply them to your plane, but I imagine that's kind of the future where this might go. But we're talking bush wheels, we're talking the Tundra tires, we're talking about, you know, stall kits. Anything that's going to improve the low speed handling and stall behavior of our aircraft. Slats, for example, being put on there. The Tundra tires really do help. Anything that basically gives your aircraft an edge that allows it to fly that little bit slower, right? And there was all the trade-offs as well. You look at the small versus the medium versus the larger aircraft, the pros and cons for each one, all right? Module 4 looked at our core skills. That was all about controlling at the edge of a stall. And a stall, I mean a wing stall. How to keep that airplane flying without hitting the stall. You heard the stall horn blaring almost the entirety of the flight. That's what we did last week. We kept the speed at around 30 knots. Maintaining that speed, maintaining flight in those conditions, that's going to be very good as you continue on to fly, because it just means you're very comfortable controlling the aircraft at such a slow speed. And remember, the slower the speed, the shorter the stopping distance. That's what we want. We want to stop in the shortest possible distance. All right. Short field takeoff, easiest liftoff. Remember, we'd say toes on the, or you know, get your toes onto your toe brakes. You apply maximum power, and as soon as you feel that aircraft ready to move, you pull up. Slight bit of pressure on the stick. Usually about, like, you know, as Kando said, about 10% back pressure. That'll get you airborne. You can take off within, you know, a matter of feet. It's crazy, right? Depending on what the wind is doing. So that's your short field takeoff. Soft field takeoff, it doesn't really have a huge impact here in the sim. In the real world, I've flown out of soft fields quite a lot. It's grass, basically, right? And depending on what you're flying in, even down to the weight of the engine, on a you know, something like a Cessna 182, you got to keep that yoke pulled back. Even taxiing, anything, just to give that little bit of back pressure, just to keep that prop just up off the ground, because, well, the less clearance, that's a bad thing. And like, think about it on a soft ground. I mean, if you were to apply the brakes to a nose dragger, right, well, you could actually dig in, strike the prop, game over, ball burst. You'll never be invited back to, you know, go flying with someone. In the sim, there's not as much consequence. However, for a tail dragger, we need to be very careful on the brakes. If you land and apply full brakes, there's every chance that you're going to prop strike and nose over. You need to be careful. We kind of looked at the idea of, if you were to try and simulate what a car does with anti-lock brakes and ABS, rather than applying full pressure, you're on and off the brakes quickly, but you're on and off the brakes. All you're trying to do is manage that energy so the aircraft doesn't fully nose over. You know what I mean? That's what we looked at. Precision landings, hit the target exactly. Don't worry about softly. Exactly. We're looking for accuracy here. You pick your landing zone. That's the line. My wheels need to hit that. And the more you do that, then you can start adding your finesse and making things nice and gentle. I mean, don't forget, these aircraft, in particular the STOL aircraft, they're built to take a bit of a beating. That's why you have the bigger tires, stronger suspension struts, and so on. They're designed to take a bit of a bang, so don't be worrying too much for the soft landing. Landing rates, not massively applicable here. You don't go down like a dart, mind you, but don't be worrying too much for, like, oh, it was a butter landing. That's not the objective here. Accuracy is absolutely what we're after. All right. Obstacle clearance. Again, we're using our eyes and our ears. This circuit, for example, we talk about obstacles. There's nothing really jumping out on the main flight path, right? But we know we've obstacles to the left and to the right. Therefore, controlling our aircraft very close to stall speed, but what happens at a stall, we'll stall a wing, the wing will drop and we'll start veering off in one certain direction. You need to be careful, because you have the grandstands on one side with people, and you have trees on the other side with squirrels and other forest animals, right? So obstacles are important. depending on where you're flying to, not necessarily for eSTOL, but definitely when it comes to your back country routes, mountains, rivers, trees, basically anything that's in your way of flight, you need to properly assess, hey, is it better to take off uphill because I have a better clearance, or if I take off downhill, you know, I'm going to end up straight into a mountain? Lukla is a prime example of that. You need to make sure your aircraft has the beans to be able to get you out of trouble before you go straight into the next mountain, right? It's pretty cool. And of course, density altitude. Yes, density altitude. It's a huge part of it, right? Huge part of it. So the last bit then were go-arounds. Now, we shouldn't necessarily come across this when it comes to eSTOL. I mean, we're planning to land on or just after that line. After that line, don't land on the line. I think it needs to be after it. If a go around has to happen, it's knowing. I can't remember, but I think, you know, there was no such thing as landing. It was like, what was the phrase we used? It was, you know, every time you come in for a landing, you're actually preparing for a go around, and then maybe you get to land. If you apply that way of thinking, especially with VATSIM and your online flying, every time you're planning to land, change that. Start planning in your flights. You're going to go missed, or you're going to do your standard go around, or whatever it is. If you land, it's a bonus. If you start applying that way of thinking, it means you're always ready. You're always ready. You're planning to go around. You're watching the energy. You're watching the power. And if you need to go around, well, you don't even think about it. All right? We're conditioned to be the other way around. No, we're landing. That's it. We're landing. And then if you do get a go around, oh no. So always try and change your mindset to, you're attempting here a go around, but if you land, great, right? Try that way of thinking. Now, the last bit then, the most important stall decision: abort when unstable. And we talked about being stable. If you're unstable in your approach, your landing isn't going to be good enough. Now, when it comes to eSTOL, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen enough of it to say, look, his approach was all wrong. He had to go around. I'm sure Norcali will have something else to say about that. You know. So we'll find out now in a couple of moments. So we're going to move on. That was a recap from the last 2 weeks of what we've been doing, right? And we have covered a bit of ground, but there shouldn't be any, like, I never knew that before. Or if there was, you know, it shouldn't be kind of life-changing, right? So what we're going to move on to now, it's going to be the competitive side. STOL, or eSTOL in our case, right? And what we're going to move into, how STOL competitions are flown. We're going to learn about the scoring rules, the aircraft categories, the competition flow, and what makes a winning run, right? So that's what we're going to cover. The spot that we're at right now, this is known as Virginia Beach, 42 Victor Alpha. It's a freeware scenery over on flightsim.to. National eSTOL do have scenery packs on the marketplace, but I think they're 2020 right now, but they are upgrading them to work in 2024. There's another one then as well. We have the Oklahoma eSTOL at Patriot Air Park. Dougal, thanks for the shout out. I put in the wrong ICAO code for that. It's Oscar Lima 42. And that's also available over on flightsim.to. There's a handful of them over there, right? That's where we get them from. So the objective of national STOL competition rules, and this is where Norcali will help us converting them back into, you know, flight sim, right? Pilots compete to achieve the lowest total score.
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Takeoff distance plus landing distance gives you your total score, right? So we'll get into all this, but I do have a little video I want to share with you first. And have a look at this video. It'll explain all sorts.
Go swing it, baby.
There's buttons being pressed at an alarming rate, and I don't know who's in charge. Hang on there now. Let's have a quick look. Steiny, you absolute mad devil, you. Thank you very, very much indeed. 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community because he's mad. Doug also resubscribed for 7 months. Lads, thank you very, very much indeed. Really appreciate it. Steiny says, in real life, there was a pilot trying to keep separation while setting up behind other pilots, and he actually stall spinned it into the ground. Jesus. So the go around, if you're coming too close, is always an option. Don't throttle back. Yep. That's crazy, man. Right. let's show this video, and then we'll start getting into some learning with itzNorCally. Are we ready? So we'll press this. Yes. Will this work on this screen? It will. Yes. Right. Have a listen to this, lads, and we'll find out. Right now. Why am I still hearing sounds? I need to fix this. Don't worry, Murphy. All is well in the realm. If I change this to this... No. Jesus. Stream Deck. There we go. Change this to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. There we go, lads.
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line, so let's start with the takeoff.
This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear: tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies.
It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
Now, we're going to watch that a second time, just so it really kind of, sits in there, right? Couple of points to make, and we'll go back over this. Depending on your aircraft type, lads, right? So if you're in a nose dragger, your main gear are the wheels towards the back. They're the ones that you're graded on, right? If you're in a tail dragger, your main gear are the wheels at the front. They're the ones you're graded on. So just watch this back again and let all that sink in.
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line, so let's start with the takeoff.
This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear: tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies.
It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
Right, so consider yourselves, right, that is how it works. That's how it works, right? And yeah, I agree with Steiny. It irks me as well when you see, the tail of the plane bashing off the ground. It's just, oh no! But they're designed for it. I mean, they can take that extra bit. And you'll see from some of the different aircraft, they'll either have, a tail wheel, like a caster wheel, or indeed they'll have a skid, or even some of them had customized yokes that had like a disc, which is interesting. I remember, like, if you look at the old vintage aircraft, for example, where they have, whatchamacallit, they have... there's always one, isn't there? Who's that agent? Oh, Jesus. If you look at the very old aircraft, the wood on that kicker used to always wear down, and they'd literally just come along and change that out. You know what I mean? Gibbo, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. So what we're going to do, we're going to press some buttons here now, and hang on, I'll press a button and see if Norcali's ready. Where is this now? It's made to take at least 170 pounds, around 3.3 Gs. Ooh, nice. Right, itzNorCally is ready. I'm going to press a button and start a call. Do you like me fancy ringtones? Good evening, Norcali. How are you, bud?
Hello, hello.
We can hear you. Fantastic stuff. Well, man, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Murph and Fireflies.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. So I suppose before we get into the rules and whatnot, maybe tell us a bit of your background with eSTOL. I mean, you know, the backcountry flying, you've been streaming now over 2 years at this stage, right? I mean, you do a lot of backcountry flying and you're also heavily involved with eSTOL. So where did it all begin for you?
Well, I do exclusively, I would say 99% of my flights would be bush flying, bush trips around the world.
Nice.
I've been streaming for February will be my 2-year anniversary, but I've been in the sim since day one doing these kind of flights in Flight Sim 2020. So about 5 years now in Flight Sim.
Sweet.
Yeah, and eSTOL started last year in January or February 2024, and I've been in these competitions since day one, since the first official event last season.
Oh, nice.
I'm also an official trainer, and I can train anybody to get certified for these competitions.
Sweet. So tell you, why don't we start with certifying? Because I mean, for folks, you know, not initiated in the ways of eSTOL, I mean, if I wanted to say, right, look, I want to go flying, I want to just enter into an event, and you know, I don't know anything. Talk me through the process. What do I need to learn? What do I like? Do I need to prove myself? Is there a test? How does it work?
There is a small test, but it is a 100% success rate.
Ooh, nice.
You don't have to have any worries in getting in. You just have to understand what's going to happen during the event, our taxiing procedures, what's kind of going on behind the scenes, because it's all for a show on YouTube as well, and kind of modeling what happens in real life on their shows as well.
Nice.
So we have different ways that we have to go around and be prepared, listening on comms to our ground bosses, and putting on a good show for the cameras.
And do you get many entrants? Like, do many people take part in this?
We can hold a maximum of, I believe, of 30 pilots at any one time. If we go over 30 pilots, which we haven't had to yet, but maybe next season, we will have to start holding qualifiers.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So starting off in the very beginning, right? I mean, you know, we've looked at the capabilities of STOL aircraft. We've looked at some of the, you know, the handling characteristics that we need to learn in order to be able to fly right on the limit of slow speed, trying to get the shortest takeoff and landing. When it comes to an event, I mean, is it pretty much rinse and repeat? This is just the time in which you're going to be graded on this.
Yeah, the thing about the events is, like, you can practice all you want in the background for hours and hours and hours and put down perfect takeoff and landings, but things change when you're on the spot and you're on YouTube and the cameras are on you. It's really hard to put down those perfect scores.
I can imagine.
A lot of mistakes can happen.
I can imagine. And how long do these events run for? I mean, you pick your one scenery, that's the local event, and it's number of pilots versus how long it takes them to do a circuit. I mean, is that pretty much it?
So we have different classes. We've got 3 main classes and a special class. Mm-hmm. The special class changes a plane. It's the same plane. Every event, it switches up to a different plane, but everyone in that class is in the same plane. For our 3 main classes, it's kind of based on weight and power.
Okay.
We have the heavy class, the touring class. We have the backcountry class, which is kind of the intermediate weights. And then we have the lightweight class, which is unlimited. And those are your kit foxes, your planes that are under 1,000 pounds.
Okay.
Very lightweight. And we can only fit a certain amount of planes in the air at one time. You can have 6 planes at once. They take off 30 seconds apart. And the pattern around these courses are all the same at every scenery. You're trying to target a 3-minute pattern around the course. If everyone takes off 30 seconds apart, you can have 6 planes in the air. While the last person is taking off, the first person would be coming into land on the other end of the runway.
And for 6 aircraft at a time, I mean, does that kind of come back to the Microsoft multiplayer environment whereby it's a closed group?
No, it's based off of the 3-minute pattern around the course. So we might have to do 2 heats. If 12 people sign up for, say, unlimited class, we'll have to run 2 heats of 6 people. Or if even 8 people sign up, we'll have to have 2 heats of 4.
Okay. And then the use of servers and whatnot, because I mean, look, I imagine the last thing you want to see is good old 747 coming in, so you're able to control the environment. We
do control the environment, and that is something we have to keep very secretive. You will learn when you sign up and when you get introduced and you're actually part of the event, we will reveal that to you and how it works. You know,
sweet.
Because we don't want any trolls coming in. We can't have 747s coming in.
Yeah. So tell me, when it comes then to scoring, right? I mean, in national STOL, they'll literally look at the markers on the ground, out comes the tape measure, and the judges are pretty much standing on the line. They can see it and say, yeah, this person got airborne within 120 feet, or they landed within 60 feet. But we don't have tape measures in the sim, so from a judge's perspective, how is this scored?
Well, we are very fortunate this season. So last season, it was all visual. We have dedicated cameramen that are watching the line and putting in their input of what they saw on the screen, what their scores were. And then that would get input into the spreadsheet. This season, we are very lucky because we have a competitor that is, I believe he's a computer programmer. And he designed an app just for eSTOL that tracks us and tracks every movement, much like the flight tracking tool works, where it controls your movements.
Yeah.
And it knows exactly where you're at any given time. It spits out the numbers, so we don't even have to worry about it anymore. That's
pretty awesome. So yeah, that really alleviates, connection issues or whatever. That's real handy. So that's a great step forward. All right. So the event itself. So I mean, we're going to say we're all going to give this a bash today. Now, granted, we don't have the judges' capability of precision landing or takeoff. We'll give it a bash and see what happens. But any advice? I mean, it's all about trying to take off in the shortest distance. How do you make sure then that everyone is kind of playing by the rules? Like, I mean, is the weather and, like density, altitude and pressure, is that all set kind of on the server side that you guys control? Or is there like an honor system that you need folks to make sure they have the right settings?
Exactly. It's all controlled. Everyone that flies in the competition is going to be on the exact same weather, same wind. We're all there experiencing the same exact thing.
Nice.
There's a way we can control that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we're scored on our takeoff and then our landing, and it's the same as it is, with national STOL. It's the lowest score wins. Right.
Okay.
Exactly the same. Okay. And then pattern altitude and things like that. I mean, you're not going by traditional charts for this one. The rules of each one will kind of stick by it. So at this particular strip, I imagine the pattern altitude's 500-600 feet maybe?
Yeah, we shoot for 500 feet on our patterns. If you maintain 500 feet around the pattern and you're kind of watching for those pylons, you'll see the red pylons around the course. If we take off to the east here, it would be a right-hand pattern. If we took off to the west, it would be a left-hand pattern following those red pylons. And we maintain 500 feet, and you should average around 100 knots, and that'll give you your 3-minute pattern around the course.
Okay.
Stay at 500 feet.
And is there any penalties then? Say, for example, if someone misses a turn or they extend a downwind, or, you know what I mean? Or what happens if
we all have to respect each other in the air. So what happens is during practice, when you're by yourself, you can nail those 3-minute patterns and be like, I'm good, I'm ready to go. But then you get into an environment where you're with other people. And just like in traffic in your car, you're going to have some people that are slower, some people that are faster. People start to bunch up. So you have to maintain your spacing regardless. You want to stay 30 seconds behind the person in front of you. Don't worry about what's going on behind you, but you keep your distance from the person in front of you.
Okay. And what about voice communication? Like how do you keep control of all of this? Is there local ATC or how does that work?
Yeah, we're all on Discord together. We'll have one person in each class playing as the ground boss, and he's basically he runs what's going on in that heat.
Okay.
So he'll let you know if you need to slow down or speed up if they see people bunching up in the air. You just have to respect each other. Everything goes really smooth. We've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I would say it's 99% of the time, everything goes smoothly.
Okay, so just to recap then, when we want to do if it's our turn, right, this is our category, do we get multiple tries, or is it like, no, you get one shot at this, it's one takeoff, one pattern, one landing, or do we have a number of different kind of, different trials we can do?
You do have a number of tries. It models exactly what happens on the real life national STOL competitions. You get 3 takeoff and landing attempts, and your score is based off your best combined of one of those attempts.
Nice. Okay.
So say you take off with a 100-foot takeoff and you come into land with a 50-foot landing, your score would be 150 feet. But you can beat those scores. Say you get a 50-foot takeoff, but then you get a 200-foot landing on another try. That 50-foot takeoff won't count towards your best score. It has to be the best of one combined.
Okay. So you can't take your best landing from, say, trial 1 with, the best takeoff from trial 2 sort of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Right, that makes sense. Okay, so we've got 3 tries here to do this. And about the categories as well, I mean, do you see people fixed to the same category, or can they take part in multiple categories, the same pilot?
Most people do stay within one class for the entire season, but you are allowed to move around. You'll just want to make that explicit, because when we sign up, when we register for each event, it goes into the spreadsheet, and then you might sign up for the second event and change planes, change classes. You just want to make sure that you talk to the director of eSTOL, that's ADK, and make sure that he knows you're switching classes. Otherwise, it might not show up correctly on the screen, and we just want to make sure everything's running fine. Most people stick to the same classes all year long, though.
Okay, and can you be a multi-class pilot? Can you compete in different classes on the same event?
You are allowed to choose one main class.
Okay.
That would be your touring, your backcountry, or your unlimited class. But you also have the option to join spec class as well. Those are the only 2 you can choose, one of the mains and spec class if you choose.
Okay. Because I know in real world STOL, don't they have like a rookie class? I think that you can. That's like a starting off place. That's where they first begin.
Yeah, we haven't started the rookie class yet. I'm looking forward to that though.
Okay.
What would happen with rookie class is you would have to graduate and win that class at one of the events to move up to the big leagues, I would say, which would be
that'd
the
be
main
awesome.
classes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so a typical year, right? And I think next year is shaping up to be even bigger and better. And as you say, you've been there since the start of this in 2024. How many competitions are we looking at? I mean, is this kind of like once a month, once every couple of months? Where are we at now with the number of venues and competitions?
So this season started April 19th, the 2025 season. And ever since then, we've been doing around every 3 weeks on average.
Okay, nice.
And our final event is coming up here in about a week and a half for the 2025 season.
And your scores, I mean, for that entire season, is it like, let's compare it to like, motorsport, for example. Is it, you have a league table for the entire year, or is it just each competition, that's it, now you move on to the next one? Is there like an overall winner, or is it just based on the events?
Yeah, we have a season standing table in our Discord. It tracks every event, and there's a point system. You get 25 points for first place, 18 for second, all the way down to 10th place gets points.
Okay.
If we have that many people in a class. Yeah. As long as you don't crash on your very first attempt, because you'll be out of that competition if you wreck your plane the first attempt. But if you can put down a score on your first attempt, but you happen to nose over and
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
get that score, and you'll still get your point.
Now, when you talk about damage, so are you using the Sims damage model for this, or is it purely on what the judges can see based on a landing rate?
Well, that eSTOL tool that was designed by one of our competitors, it actually tracks your landing rate as well. And we do have limits on the landing rate.
Okay. Just as well you said this, because I was like, nah, the tires are huge. You know, you can really plant these things. No?
Yeah, we do have limits, but you do get a warning for your first violation at any of the events. If you do it again, though, you could be DQ'd.
Okay. Good
We
to
have
know.
some leniency. It's not 100% like to real life. We do allow some leniency for you guys.
Okay, sweet. Great, makes sense. Okay, so we have the background of the event. We know that we have 3 tries. We know about the different categories, and the category, it's all based on weight and power of the aircraft. We know that we're scored on the shortest distance for takeoff and the shortest distance on landing. And we know that if we have to, there are options there when it comes to landing rates. If we do plant it, too hard, we could get a warning, and indeed, you continue that, you could be disqualified because it'll be classed as you broke your plane, right?
Right.
As folks are competing then, in the environment that you have on YouTube, I mean, are the pilots competing? Are they aware of what's going on from the broadcasting side of it? Or are they just focused on doing what they're doing and they're talking to, the ground control boss, as you say, on comms, making sure that everything is doing as it should?
Yeah, it's the ground boss that's communicating with the production crew. So when you're flying, you don't have to worry about anything besides listening to your ground boss. And when it's go time, they'll let you know. And we'll all be lined up on the line, ready to go, front to back, up to 6 planes. And we'll give them a green flag when the production crew is ready. And then they're free to take off. And then 30 seconds later, the next plane should be on the line, within the next maybe 15 seconds, ready to take off. And so on, every 30 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Right, so what I'm thinking now, I'm going to move my plane here because I'm going to use this as you'll see now what I'm doing, right? So, where is this now? I need to come back to where I was. What I want to show folks here now is just explain what would constitute, an accurate score versus a score that can't be counted, right? So, our starting position. With remove before flight still in place, Murphy, good man. But our starting position for a tail dragger, it's going to be on its main landing gear. Or if you're in a nose dragger, it's on its main landing gear. So meaning when we start, wheels are on the line. That's our starting position, pretty much. And then we take off in the shortest possible distance. We fly the circuit, we come back. When it comes to landing, however, we can't make contact with that white line. We got to stay, in this case, to the left of that. We got to be roughly here before that's a score that's actually accurate, right?
Correct. And the eSTOL tool will let you know if you did scratch as well.
Okay.
It will know if you touch the line. Yeah.
Man, that's accurate. So in the case of a tail dragger, what would happen, for instance, if our tail was to hit the ground prior to our main gear, and the tail, that touched down on this side of the white line, but our main gear still touched down over the far side? I mean, is that something that then the judges have to say, well, he's there, or is that like, no, it's wrong?
As long as your main gear does not touch down before or on the white line, your tail wheel is free game. You
Excellent.
can drag that tail wheel across the ground.
Yeah, I have a feeling some of our guys are going to do that because I've seen them do it.
You'll see Brown Dog do that a lot in competitions.
Really, yeah, he's doing a wheelie, but that's how it works. All right, okay. And then as we look at all the markers, I mean, they start at 0 and they go all the way up, right? I mean, we're talking, what's this, like 400 feet, 500
Close to 600 feet total.
600, okay.
300, if you go to the middle of the sticker there, that's 300 feet.
That's 300, okay.
Every red line, you'll see a marker, every red line is 100 feet.
Perfect. Okay. Are there targets then given in training? Are you going to say, right, okay, someone wants to learn and they really want to get into this. They want to do some training. As folks are learning how to do this, when it comes to accuracy, are you going to try and say, right, I just want you to land at the 300 footer. That's your target. Or like, is there, what I'm trying to get at, is there any kind of minimal skill or minimum skill that you're able to work with?
Yeah, for training, there's no skill for takeoff and landing. You don't need any of those skills whatsoever. When I train someone, I pay no attention to the scores, and I want them, the people I'm training, don't worry about your scores whatsoever. We're just going to worry about the procedures and the timings. And then after that, you're free to practice all you want and get your scores going. But we just want to make sure that you understand what's going on to get ready for competition.
Okay, sweet. Right, guys, if anyone has questions in the chat, and a shout out to Vex Freeze for the raid. Cheers, Vex. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, I raided Vex before I came here.
There you go. It's all happening now. Guys, if you've any questions in the chat, let us know. We can ask itzNorCally all about this. But also, as we're looking around, we can see there's a lot of folks already spawned in. And it's going to be awesome getting to see how folks, how they fly this route in particular. The scenery, there is a scenery pack on the Microsoft marketplace. However, I think right now it's just aimed at 2020. And in fact, the competitions right now, you guys are on that platform only because, well, you started the year there, everything's working there, and you'll eventually look to move it onto 2024 at some stage.
Yes, we're hoping to make it for the start of next season. It's all going to depend on the Asobo updates and if model matching is going to show up correctly, because we cannot measure your takeoff and landings if you're showing up as a different plane correctly. It's just not going to work.
It just doesn't work. Yeah. It's just one of those challenges. Now, as I'm just looking around the course here now, so I'm just going out for a little bit of a ramble, and we can see, yes, you do have these flags put down, so we can visually see. Okay, well here's one of the markers, and is it right or left hand pattern? Shouldn't really matter. This one appears to
be a left hand from there.
Left hand from here, so we can see the next marker, which is just down here. So we're staying pretty close.
There's white ones and red ones. The white ones are for a short pattern.
Okay.
If you follow the red ones, it's a square. It's a square pattern around the course. If you follow the white ones, you'll be doing a 1.5-minute pattern. And if you follow the red ones, you'll be doing a 3-minute pattern. We use the white ones if there's not very many people in your class. If there's 3 or less people, we can tighten up the pattern, make it a little quicker, so you don't have to go all the way around. Because we only need to fit 3 planes in the air with the white pylons. With the reds, we can fit up to 6 and make it, extend it to a 3-minute pattern. Okay,
sweet. When it comes to all the different courses, I mean, there's great similarities here. I mean, consider motorsport, right? Every circuit, it's so different. But when it comes to STOL, national STOL and eSTOL, well, it's pretty much the same. It's the same gig, right? It pretty much, it's the same. It's like a football pitch, right? That's the field in which you gotta do your work on. So when you move to different venues, I mean, is it the case that there's other challenges that can be added in, be it the weather or time of day or even seasons? I mean, is there any impact to increase or decrease the level of difficulty?
Well, as you know, we compete with live weather. So everyone's on live weather. Whatever's happening that day at that location is going to be different at every scenery, and every runway is orientated a different direction slightly. This one in particular is east-west. There's usually a strong breeze coming off the Atlantic Ocean from, going west to east, towards the ocean. But it can change. We've had bad luck at this scenery before. We had the worst weather we've ever had in 2024 season.
Really?
I think 19-knot crosswind here, and I went off into the trees off to the left on my first attempt.
That's incredible. So it really is pick of the day, pick of the weather. Everyone, praying to the rain gods the night before the competition. Please be dry and calm.
We're always hoping for a headwind. No matter what, we're hoping for a headwind.
That's pretty awesome. So a question coming in here from our chat is from Angel. Can you use a biplane? Is there aircraft categorized as STOL aircraft as a biplane? Have you seen something like, the pits in there?
Not currently. Things can be added in as we go along. And not every bush plane is even available to use. They have to be available on the marketplace. Because we do include Xbox players as well. And for them to join us and have the same options, we have to have everything on the marketplace available. So no freeware from flightsim.to that Xbox can't use.
Okay. So it makes sense. So you have a list of aircraft that are compatible. People can choose their favorite aircraft or whatever off that list and say, that's the airplane I want. Okay, no, it makes sense. Brown Dog says, every course is indeed different with many different variables for each. The trees lining the side of the course on this one, for instance, causes a lot of turbulence with the wind and the crosswind. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Very different elevations too. Our highest elevation, by far the highest, it's the only one that's 7,000 feet above sea level in Wyoming.
Wow.
And that's going to make we had density altitude over 10,000 feet. It was like 11,000 foot density altitude in the summertime. Yeah.
Nice. Look, it's absolutely incredible. And like this, I very much believe this is a sport, as we see its growth in the real world, and the competition, and it's weird, right? It's so competitive, but it's so kind of, I don't want to say chill, but it's so friendly, because you're seeing what people in the real world can do with aircraft, as in, anything from, manufacturing stall kits to even the aircraft designers themselves. In the sim, well, we know it's a friendly space because you can have the competitive side there, but because you're able to level that playing field, everyone's on the same weather. Great. You have the tech to, accurately record where the landings are happening from, and you're able to keep it within the classes. It just means that everyone gets a fair shot at this, which I think is going to be the most appealing here, because we know that there are these, pilot gurus who can do things with airplanes. I mean, I saw Wakando. I've seen it with you in your streams as well. I'm sitting there going, he's defying physics. How is he flying like this? It's all a matter of just a bit of practice. And practice. Yeah.
That's one of the do's. Of the do's and do nots. Yeah. Number 1, practice.
Right. So the last event of this year is coming up, as you say, in a week or so. And then next year, I mean, the hope is there's going to be more, and hopefully a lot more pilots. For folks who would like to get involved, to register, what's the best way to go about that?
So the first thing you want to do is get yourself certified, and you'll find out when you log into the eSTOL Discord. Mm-hmm. You'll want to open up a ticket and contact a trainer. And it'll be a one-on-one conversation with just you and any of the trainers that are available to train you at that time or work with your schedule. Mm-hmm. And then after that, you're free to register for any of the upcoming events. Now, the events open up 1 week before the date of the event. So you can't really sign up anytime you want. You have to wait for that week, and then we take signups.
That's awesome. Okay, well, look, I have a little video here to show. It's from a stream 2 years ago, and it's out at the beginning, out at Johnson's Farm, just to show folks what it's all about, with the eSTOL competition. And then I'll also share information. I'll put it here in the chat where folks, in particular when it comes to a link to Discord.
The Johnson's Farm was the very first eSTOL scenery created before any of the actual competition started. It was kind of a test scenery, and we're going to be headed back there to do our finals in eSTOL for the first time.
No way!
In about 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Right, let's have a look. So I have a couple of things here. So we have the official rules. So there's tons of information here. And as I say, most of this is coming from the Discord, right? Where is this now? Yep. National Stall. This should be a link to Discord, which it is. I'll get this popped in here into the chat. So I'm going to put this into the chat here, guys.
I see a question from Huffy89. How do you control the weight of your aircraft and fuel? We have fuel requirements for every plane. This season we're running, instead of a specific number for each plane, we've simplified it that every plane, except for one, every plane starts with 50% fuel. Everyone's on the same amount of fuel. And the weight of your pilot is determined by whatever the default is for your plane. So say for the Norden, it's 170 pounds, I believe, or 165 pounds. Everyone will be on the same pilot weight. Mm-hmm. But as far as fuel, you can add more fuel than 50% if you like. You can move it around left or right wing to balance yourself out for depending on your plane. You can add tail weight if you wish. You can add weight to your passenger seats. It's all up to you. You just have to have the standard pilot weight and 50% fuel. The one plane that has more fuel is the Kit Fox. The competition Kit Fox has a small tank compared to the regular Kit Fox. It's half the size, so we run that with 100% fuel.
Okay. Right, hang on. We'll invite. I wonder, can I do this? Invite a link. All right, lads, try this link. If that one doesn't work, this one should. Direct from the National Stall Discord, because that's where pretty much all this comes in.
Now that Discord, it includes the real life pilots from the real life competitions with the eSTOL pilots in competitions. We're all in the same Discord.
That's awesome. So, I mean, you can track both the real world and eSTOL with this as well.
You can chat with the real STOL pilots and us. Yeah.
I love that. Let me know if that link is working okay, guys. And as I said, that's what their Discord looks like. Check it out. You can see all the rules, real world, and then of course you see it from eSTOL as well. Because there's going to be differences, right? I mean, with the sim, there has to be some differences. But it looks like it's the differences are getting, they're smaller and smaller, right? I mean, that's the objective. I'm sure you guys want to make this thing as close.
We're really trying to emulate the real life events. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Right, we'll have a quick look at this video. And then, guys, if you have any questions, do be sure to pop them into the chat there. And we'll just have a quick look at this here on the screen, just to give you an idea what this is all about. So we'll play some footage and just have a look at this. I just love when you look at the real world stuff, right? Because I mean, it just puts you completely into the game. It's just like, yes, we want this. So let's skip here. Let's have a look at what it's like in the sim now.
Wait, that's not the sim? I thought it was the same.
Just right night. Mark Baracus, he did not qualify the second round. We saw
the sim does look really good.
It does look so good, doesn't it?
Really had a big scratch.
Hello there.
But the first round, very impressive 460-foot score. Again, if this was one of our events and we were flying,
all right, we got Mark
we saw a 460 score.
Baracus up here in his Wilga.
Well,
he was there for Johnson's Farm. Like I said, this was this is the end of 2023 here, before the first official event.
It's interesting to hear, Corey say that you really.
And I was not around for this. I wasn't in the know of eSTOL yet at this point.
Really?
Maybe a couple of months later, maybe 2 months later, I was in it.
That's crazy.
And a Wilga, when you're up close to one, you realize
isn't it absolutely nuts? Like when you see them try to come in, it's like they're like right on that limit. It's just that stall speed.
The great thing about this scenery too is I'm flying home. I live in Northern California, and this scenery, which is not a real life scenery, it's fictional, is only about a 30-minute flight in a bush plane from my house.
No way. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I love that. So, I mean, all these events, they're covered live as well. You have the real world stuff, then you have eSTOL flying as well. They're all covered. You can, you guys can tune into them, you can watch them, and you can follow along. And,
there's a whole slew of past events you can watch on YouTube. All of our prior events.
They're all they're all over on the YouTube channel, and
they're all on the National STOL official YouTube.
Because I remember seeing, was it in Houston? Burstix had he was there with the trailer and the whole lot, at Flight Sim Expo. Wasn't it?
in Vegas, in Las Vegas.
Oh, was it Vegas?
That's when I was there.
Yeah, it was Vegas. Yeah. So like, there's such a huge following for this. So I'll share this link as well, lads. That'll give you the link to the YouTube channel.
I want to thank you again, Murphy, for that ice cold beer on that 110-degree day in Las Vegas.
Right? You can't bait it. There's always room for a cold beer.
You saved me.
Sweet. Right, okay, so a couple of recaps here as Joey Bolo enters the chat. Good to see you, Joey. Hope you're well, buddy. So let me see. We're talking about the purpose and the culture now of all of this, right? So we know there's a competition. We know there's scenery that we can grab. We know we can compete. We just need to register. And as you say, there's going to be a little bit of an introduction. There is a test, but as you say, you got a 100% pass rate. And there's going to be a list of aircraft that folks can pick either which category they would like to compete in and the aircraft in which they want to fly. And as we know, the competition, I mean, you're literally talking feet, right? I mean, like the difference between some of these pilots, it isn't like, you've one pilot who's always landing within the first 100 feet and everyone else is at 500. This is quite competitive now. As you say, practice. You're going to be practicing constantly to try and get yourself the best possible landing. And what really makes the thing interesting is on live weather, everyone is battling on live weather. And like even now, I'm not using live weather, so I'll turn on live weather just to see the difference, because like that's going to change the wind direction and all the jazz. And we probably need to go on live time as well, right? Which is not accurate.
So
21.
What I would say about live time, we always compete at the same time of the day every event, which is 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern time.
2 p.m. Eastern, which is about 2 p.m. Eastern.
So if you want to really practice and use the lighting that you're going to have for the events, I would practice at those times of the day so you don't have dusk or sunrise or too dark.
Okay, so I've set the local time to 1400 and we're on live weather, right? And let me see if we can see where the wind is howling from. Okay, so yeah, we're at the wrong side. So let's just look at the clouds, right? So let's just move us out of everyone's way. And in terms of, let's say we're in the competition. I mean, can we be spawned in watching what people are doing, or, well, there's only room for those who are competing, right?
Not. We only want competitors and camera crew, production crew at the events. We're trying to minimize the lag spikes that could happen with having too many people on the ground. It's going to affect some landings. You might get stutters with too many people on the server at the same time. So we limit it. Some people have found us, and they've been respectful that they'll hang out pretty far away and maybe use their drone cam to come over and watch us.
Tell me, is there scope for teams to enter this rather than single pilots? And what I mean by that is there scope? Now, it's probably not now, right? But would you think it might be a possibility if you had like our community, right? Fireflies, or your own community, and you say, right, we want 6 pilots to compete in these competitions, and the way each pilot gets 3 turns. Well, do you think there's scope? Can that be looked at? Because what I potentially see is a lot of interest from a lot of people, and if there was a team element, like you'd see like in endurance racing, right? I mean, 3 or 4 folks got to see the same car. Is that something, or it's just easier to keep it as a solo entry?
It's definitely easier to keep it as a solo. The real life events don't use teams in that regard. But I would say there's anything's possible. If you'd want to talk to our eSTOL director, ADK, maybe there's room to make do some sort of teams scenario in the future.
The only reason I'm thinking on it, right, in the real world, okay, both sim and real world have a finite number of entrants, right, of people who are able to fly. But like, when you see some of the stats from Microsoft Flight Sim, they mentioned 10 million pilots. It's I mean, what's the upper levels here, right? I mean, it could be something maybe to look at. Don't worry, I'll annoy them. You don't have to worry about it, Callie. I'll annoy someone about, hey, I've got this great idea. But I think it could be fun. Or certainly, listen, before we even brought it to eSTOL, I mean, communities could certainly do their own in-house stuff to say, right, guys, we want to put forward the best pilots. We're going to run our own little mini adventures, and the best pilot in each class then goes forward and they can enter into a competition or whatever. It could be a good way to engage with different communities as well. But yeah, I'm very excited to see these competitions and where they go, but also the training, right? I mean, you must have learned so much over the last year and a bit of just flying at these events, everything down to controlling the aircraft, but picking out your landing zone, knowing where you want to be, at what altitude do you need to be at in order for you to say, yeah, this is going to be a good score. So I'm very interested to kind of see that translate into training as well. And as you've mentioned, you do training. So what's the best way for folks to be knocking on your door to say, hey, can you train me? Is it going to be via Discord as well? People can catch you over there?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's via Discord. You'll want to contact a trainer within the eSTOL Discord. And we have many trainers. I think we have 5 or 6 of us. Mm-hmm. As people get more familiar, we add more trainers if needed. And yeah, if you want to, you're feel free to request a certain person and work with that schedule. I'm more than happy to train people on my stream or off stream if you're not comfortable. But we communicate in Discord voice.
Sweet. Okay. Right now, let me think. So I think I'm happy enough with the layout. Guys in the chat, let me know if you've any questions. But I think you've made it very clear for us. I mean, we get 3 goes. The environment is defined by live time and weather, or real world weather, and you tend to launch these at about 2 p.m. Eastern. Depending on where the event is held, that brings its own challenges when it comes to, the weather, density, altitude, as you say. I mean, the highest elevation, 7,000 feet, that's crazy. That's like proper crazy, because you're flying in a very, very different airplane at that stage. Versus
almost all of them are closer to sea level. However, there's one, I think, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 feet after the 7,000 foot one, and most of them they're all below that. Okay.
Right. Well, what we're going to do, I'm going to jump in and give this an old whirl and see what happens. Right. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? And we'll see what happens. So. Maybe if it's okay, Callie, if you just stay put, and if there's any, I don't know if you can see the stream, but is there any tips you can give? Is there any tips you can give me to say, do it this way or don't do it that way, or try this versus that? I mean, do you just have at it and see what happens, or what's the best way to to try it out?
Well, I'll give you a couple of things. Things can happen in the sim. Mm-hmm. You can have a sim crash during competition, but the most important thing is not to freak out. Don't worry about it. We'll try to get you back in as best we can. We might even put the guys in a holding pattern to try to get you back in, depending on how fast you can get back in there. There's a couple of quirks about competitions, such as you don't want to use your parking brake. The second you use your parking brake on the line, you forget that it's set, and you nose over, and your day is over instantly. You're done.
Yep, that could definitely happen.
Another thing, you're not allowed to back up. If you pull up to the white line and you go over the line, you just have to start with that disadvantage over the line. You have to eat those few feet up that you go over.
Oh, wow.
You're not allowed to back up.
Okay. And tell me, what about restrictions on using cameras? I mean, do folks use external camera? Do they use the internal camera? Does it matter?
You're free to use whatever you're comfortable with. We're allowed to use... you could be not a seasoned pilot. It took me a long time personally to start exclusively using cockpit view for takeoff and landing.
Oh, really?
I'm more comfortable in it now. But you're allowed to use external cam if you wish.
Okay. Right, so I think that's you lined up here beside us. So let's see if we can get up here alongside. And there's all sorts of different skills being applied, especially, when it comes to, are you going to use flap for takeoff? Are you going to try and take off first and then apply a bit of flap to give you a bit of a jump? I mean, there's a lot of...
Yeah, every plane is different on what you... And the wind is going to play a big factor on what flap settings you want to use.
Okay, right. Well, let's see what happens here. So, it's a left-hand circuit, right?
From this direction, we'll be turning right.
Right-hand circuit, okay. Right, so let's see what happens here. So,
I'll get up in the air if you want to follow me around.
I'll follow you around. That sounds like a plan.
All right. Let's see. On this wind setting here, we have 15 knot headwind here. All right. I'm going to go full flaps with the Norden. I'm going to engage my front slats. You can see them come out.
Yeah. I'm not copying you at all, by the way, right?
I'm going to set my trim very aggressive. Nose high.
Oh, trim on
I'm
takeoff.
gonna power up
good.
with the brake, not my parking brake, just my hand brake. Let me make sure I don't have my brake on. That's another thing. I could have set my brake just sitting here.
Do me a favor, don't go anywhere just yet. Let me just reset
Alright.
multiplayer just to see if we can fix this model matching.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Murphy's Law and the like.
Yeah, you'll probably get rid of the C-130s
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
if they switched planes.
Give it a few moments.
Yeah, with this much wind here, this plane is just going to lift straight up off the ground. You probably get like a 10-foot takeoff.
Okay, we're looking better.
The current wind.
Okay, ready when you are.
All right. So my parking brake is off. I'm just holding the brake. I'm going to give it a bit of throttle here.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see my nose might start to tip forward. You got to let go. Right
Holy
then.
crap, man, you were up it straight away. Jesus. Right.
Now, the important thing about this runway, you have to stay straight through all the way down the runway. If you exceed the borders left or right, you will get a warning. So you want to go straight through. If you veer off because of the wind, that'll be a warning. If you do it again, you'll get a DQ.
I just gave myself whiplash trying to take off there. Jesus. Right. I'll follow you. You're up the road there in a bit. All right, let's see what happens.
So we have a strong headwind here. You're going to want to go full throttle to maintain your timing. But
Okay.
you might have to slow down on the downwind because you're getting pushed that extra 15 knots.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we're aiming for around 100, 110 knots around this pattern, 500 feet above the ground.
It's all very calm, but really, this isn't calm at all. This is all like, yes, we're doing the thing.
And if we were in competition right now, we would be a little further apart. It's kind of hard to see other planes unless you have your name tags on during competition. It really helps to have them on in the pattern so you can see where everybody is. You might see them better in real life compared to the sim. You know, it's all about the LODs.
Sure.
But then when you come into land, you're going to have a cluster of names on the ground, so you'll want to have to flip that off.
Yeah.
That's the way I run it. Don't flip them off. Don't give them the bird, but you know, turn off your name tags.
Look at this. We got a load of people doing this, man. This is awesome. Isn't it amazing? Like, I mean, I've been only saying this over the last couple of weeks, all the different types of flying that's available to us with Microsoft Flight Sim, be it the airliners, be it the bushback or the backcountry and the bush flying, eSTOL, you know, combat stuff. Like, there's no end to the possibilities you have just by using this sim as the platform in which you want to do it. I mean, people going for walks, virtual tourism, you know, we're using on air, you've all the bits and bobs from different aircraft, you have the different add-ons. Like, it is a playground, isn't it?
Lots of fun. So much fun. And you can turn, like, you look at this eSTOL runway, just pretend you've got an eSTOL runway at every sandbar, at every small field in the world. And it's the same idea. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Now, is there any minimum pattern altitude? Like, what happens if you have someone who's, like, you know, scraping the trees at 200 feet?
The ground boss will let you know that you need to climb, get up a little bit.
Okay.
We don't worry too much about it. It's for safety reasons in real life that you'd want to stay at least 500 feet above the trees.
Sure.
And above houses and things.
Okay.
But we're pretty lenient on that. No one's gotten disqualified for flying too low or flying too high.
Gotcha.
It's in your interest to not go too high, though, because if you're too high, imagine all that speed you're going to have coming down to the runway.
Yeah.
And trying to manage that. So, now we're on approach. This is when things slow down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be on the ragged edge if you can, coming down to this line. In the Norden, with this wind, we could probably get this plane under 20 knots airspeed.
My current ground speed is 19 knots.
Yeah.
Ugh. I've often ran at 19 knots going to a party or a pub. Do you know, like, this is ridiculous.
Just that much running between bars?
There could be. All right, let's have a look at this, man. This is so slow. Like, indicator we're doing 40 knots, so like we can bring this right back. And there's the crosswind, so like straight away we have a challenge, right?
Yeah, it's not a straight headwind. There's a little bit of a quartering headwind to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're allowed to angle your plane into the wind slightly on your takeoffs and landing. You don't have to come straight. You want to land straight and not exceed. We do have a limit of 45 degrees on your landing.
Okay.
When you come to a stop.
So literally you can't slip it in over the line, like you got to be...
Yep. Just
Okay.
make sure you correct it and get straight right before touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see what we do here without touching the ground just yet. Easy now. Easy now. So
And I have a small thing. Well, after your landing here.
Sure.
Bonk.
All right, was that before? That was...
That. Yep. So you'd get a scratch there. Basically,
Really?
that run wouldn't count, and you would have 2 more attempts.
So did I touch down before the line?
Yes. Yep.
Ah, no, that was a glitch. The scenery was moving, sure.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It had something to do with Jupiter and Halley's Comet. Something happened.
That's so much... Man, I mean, just taking off. It's like you're airborne within a second, like... Yeah, user error. Yeah, that's sure. Hang on, we'll try it one more time. And then I want to watch you guys do it, because this is so much fun. I mean, even the practice element of it, I mean, it's fantastic, right?
So what we just experienced is like I was just starting to talk to you, and maybe I distracted you while you were coming into land.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly what it was. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what we don't want to happen in competition. We try to keep the comms have to remain clear on everybody's landings, so there's no distractions.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll do the shorter circuit here only because nearly everyone's in. So yeah, I think
Yes,
there was an issue with
was
the
the
nut
nut.
at the front of the screen. Yeah, thanks. Sure, the Irish invented STOL. That's right, Keen. Yeah, that's right. We invented all these
It was
things.
a loose nut.
Yeah. It's you can see how it's so competitive though, because it's your raw skill and capabilities, nothing else. Right? I mean,
Your familiarity with the plane is a big thing. You want
Yeah.
to fly what you're comfortable with, as you said.
yeah.
Not who you're competing against or what you're competing against. Fly the plane that you are most comfortable flying with that we allow in the competition.
That's pretty awesome.
There's one important rule. It's the biggest rule in our rule book. It's to have fun.
Oh, nice. eSTOL community, fantastic community as well. Lots of laughs, good fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Has anyone, crashed into one of those markers yet? No?
So, as far as, yeah, you can touch the number markers. Those are fine. You're allowed to drive over those.
Okay.
What you can't drive over is the eSTOL flags, the big ones.
Yes.
That will damage your aircraft in real life. You'll hit your wing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dreamy, sleepy,
you're
nighty,
out of
snoozy,
the
snooze.
competition if you cause anything like that to your plane. So, if you do that in the competition here in eSTOL, you will get a DQ for running over the flags, running over any of the people, any of the scenery, besides those numbers.
Okay.
The low numbers.
Okay. Captain Gaiman. turn
Other
off the lights.
planes. You touch another plane, both of you are out.
Oh, really?
You don't want that to happen. We have to respect distances between people. You probably won't make it too much further in the season or being allowed to fly if you purposely hit anybody.
Yeah, look, it makes sense. Like, I gotta say, right, for a what's the word I'm trying to use here? But for an entire campaign that is National STOL, to see what the guys have done in the real world, to carve out their own bit of competitive space, and now we can see it now at eSTOL and the Sim, which just makes it so much more accessible globally. You can see where you can have fun with this thing, because it's super competitive, but it's super fun. And oh Jesus, hang on now, easy now, Jemima, hang on. Oh,
Power energy management, power energy. With all this headwind, you have to add way more throttle.
So that didn't go according to plan either now, because I felt myself hit the thing before the yoke. You want to keep going though, right? You want to
What
keep
you're
trying.
experiencing here, you're experiencing the almost being nervous because you're being watched, you're being scrutinized, and you don't want to make a mistake, which causes mistakes.
100%. I mean, look, jeez.
And
Oh no.
that happens in the competitions. And I would say it takes a good 3 events during the season if you're brand new.
Dougal, have you been
It might
drinking?
take you
I
till your
have,
4th
Ted.
event
I've
before
been
you're
drinking
really
like a man,
comfortable,
Egypt.
Right.
not being nervous.
Oh,
Things happen.
man. It's so much fun. Like, I mean, look, Toto, like, airborne straight away. And you know what? It's knowing that you have 3 runs at this. So rather than trying to nail it on your first run, because that's what I tried to do, and then the second time I still dropped short. So I think the plan is try not to drop short.
Your first attempt should be just trying to get a score on the board.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, get a score, because everyone else in your class could wreck their plane and you win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so freaking cool, man. So idle cut off. Go on, Dave, you devil. Now, say if you bounce it, is it where your wheels stop, or is it like where do you actually record it from?
Correct, yeah. On your takeoffs too. We've had experiences where you take off, you get off the ground, and then you set your trim, or not your trim, you set your flaps up, and your plane drops, and you touch the ground again and take off again. Your takeoff is going to be determined from the last place you took off from, not your first one. And as far as landing and you can bounce all you want as long as you don't exceed the G limits, your landing rate.
So you're that A400 did a better job than me. So it's literally where wheels make contact. That's it. You know, you could stop 10 feet down the road, but it's where your wheels make contact.
And yeah, you have to come to a complete stop. No, you have to when you come to a complete stop, that'll be your score.
Okay. Makes sense.
So you roll it. And if you have the wind can switch direction on us too. We've had takeoff and landings with the tailwind because the wind switched up mid competition.
No way.
In the middle of our heat. So we're having to deal with maybe our first attempt was a nice headwind, and then on our second and third it's a tailwind. We really can't beat our first scores. That's your score.
Okay. So there's Heisenberg.
Now we can switch sides of the field. Depending on the wind, we can switch sides, but we do that between heats. We don't do that during mid-heat.
Okay. Whoa, he was off in 20 feet. Heisenberg, I always knew you were handy at that. Did you see him? 20 feet. Here's Toto. Go on. Oh, no, just before.
This is nice wind for takeoffs, for sure.
Jalagad. Oh.
And you can trim the grass with your wheels as long as it doesn't register as a touch.
Oh, really?
In the app, you'll be good, yeah.
Okay. Look at Sunjammer in the Wilga. Or not the Wilga, the Draco. Are you mad? Like, what has been... I suppose, what's the most popular aircraft you've seen?
I would say the Wilga is the most popular one right now.
Okay.
More people fly the Wilga than any other plane.
The L-19 is in there. Noel K. Oh, that's looking good, Noel. Nice.
Shout out to Got Friends. Their planes, I think, are the best for our STOL competitions, really.
Ooh. And they sponsor the event as well. And it's pretty cool. It's great to see inclusion of the flight sim community here. I mean, that's friggin' awesome.
Someone mentioned if the Aeroprat is going to be available once it's in the marketplace in 2020. And the thing is nothing is based on available to eSTOL from what you see in the sim. It has to be approved by the ADK and get into the rule book. It's a bit of a process getting a plane ready for eSTOL and so that it's available to use. When we move over to 2024, we're going to have more planes available, different planes available for sure. More options.
Soaring AJ, I think that's just fantastic.
I have a note to say about go-arounds.
Yes.
Specifically, go-arounds are encouraged.
Oh, okay.
You don't necessarily have to have someone on the runway in front of you to do a go-around. If you're coming in way too fast and you don't think you're going to be able to put down a safe landing, you are free to go around. As long as you power up and you go directly over the field, even if no one's on the runway, go over the field and do a short pattern, get back in line with whoever's still flying in the air in their pattern, and try it again. As long as you don't touch down, you're free to go around.
Okay.
Now, we don't want to abuse that.
Sure.
You don't want to do it for no reason. That'll be a warning or a DQ if you're doing it for no reason. But if there's reason for it, you're free to go around.
Okay. Toto, awesome work, buddy. Oh, this is brilliant. So his third go. This is great to see. I mean, there's so many people here. The scenery we're using, guys, it's available as freeware over on flightsim.to. And as I said, you can pick up the scenery from the marketplace. Right now it's for 2020. I mean, does it work in 24 or is it pretty much locked on 2020?
Oh, we're in 2024, right? It's working.
The scenery is working. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to pick it up on the marketplace...
If you buy them in the marketplace in 2020, if you buy them all, like Captain Butters has every one of them, you buy them in 2020 and then you can enable them in 2024. They all work.
Okay, and you can pick them up on the marketplace. They're like $4.99 for, I think it's 6 airstrips.
Yeah, there's a 6-pack on there. So what happened was our scenery designer, Anov, was creating them one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Once we started moving, when we moved everything to the marketplace, they were coming out brand new on the marketplace one at a time. But we had a whole half of a season that we'd already completed. And what he did is, for the following season, bunched all those prior sceneries into one pack for $4.99.
Nice. That's awesome.
So you'll have a big pack of them, and then you'll have some individuals as well.
Okay. Right, I'm going to give this a shot again now, right? And this is with everything I've been taught. And so I blame you now if this goes wrong, right?
Appreciate the support, Mank.
Right? So, for takeoff, as you say, I mean, would you go full flap or just some flap?
For this wind, I would go full flap and use your front slats.
And try and get ourselves lined up here as best we can.
You can literally set your trim in this plane to the full aggressive nose high with all your flaps, everything, and pull straight up off the ground. You don't have to roll on the wheels. It will take off under full power, straight up in the air.
That's crazy.
You might not get that with a 3-knot wind, but with a 15-knot wind for sure.
Right, let's see what happens. So, power coming in.
But you have to be ready to level off and lose those flaps, or else we do have a steep climb rate as a penalty.
Gotcha, okay. Right, but that was fairly off the ground in about a sneeze. Achoo,
There you
and
go.
Airborne, right, okay.
Nice takeoff.
Everyone's doing such a great job, and I don't know how many people have tried this before tonight, but they're making easy work of it's they have the fundamentals down. This is purely now just practicing on accuracy. But what I love about this is you're competing against real weather, so like yeah, it's
Every event is different
yeah.
location, but the scenery itself, the runway, the pattern is exactly the same everywhere.
That's mad. That is mad.
Taxiing will be different. Parking is in different places. Every airport's different. So we have to learn the taxiing at every airport of what we're going to do ahead of time.
Okay, let's have a look around the pattern. Looks fairly okay-ish.
I can give you an example when you come down of what we do for taxiing. You can watch my plane, and I'll show you how we do. Like, we do a parade lap, as you saw during one of the competitions you reviewed.
Yes,
We do a parade.
No way.
We call it a showcase. Yeah.
Nice.
So every plane pulls up to the camera booth. You'll see burr sticks in there. And there'll be somebody in a drone cam circling your plane and talking about you as a competitor, talking about your livery. You know, we can have custom liveries you can design. And then everyone gets their 30 seconds in front of the camera before each one then go and line up and get ready for the competition. Every heat does that.
That's awesome. That's where we can put in all our smack talk. You know, here's this guy back again after his, comments last year. Or, yeah, you can have so much fun with this, man.
That's when Cat Blue will tell me that she left me some wet cat food in my sneakers.
Oh, fantastic. I could just see, Bill of Talladega Nights in this, maybe, Yeah, I think we could have some proper fun with this. But it's awesome. And you know what? Outside of the scenery, which isn't a tall order, $4.99 for all of them, the events are free, right?
Yeah, there's no registration.
Oh, behave.
The fee is the scenery. That's it.
The fee is the scenery. So, I mean, yourself, the developers, and everyone else supporting this included. I mean, this is your hobby clearly, but you're giving up your free time to provide everyone with a great experience.
Yeah, and we're all volunteers behind the scenes as well. A lot of us work in the production while we're not competing, and that's encouraged. We want people to help out, and it's just like in the real life events. People that compete end up being judges when they're not flying in the real life events.
There's a single cow on the runway mocking me. This is going to be hilarious. Foxfly, thank you for the bits. Cheers, buddy.
Mind the cow.
Mind the cow. Right. Let's see how we go this way now. We're still going very fast. We're down there now. Listen, we'll just ease our way into this now. No.
In Flight Sim 2020, we don't have those animals.
You see, you're missing out. I could see the white in the eye of that cow as I approached the runway at 17 knots.
We could have a horse in the middle of the runway. You better go around.
Right? All right,
you're gonna wreck your plane into a horse.
Be the plane, Murph. You know, I am speed. I mean, I am slow. Yes, very slow.
You have to think about with this plane. You've got a 15-knot headwind right now. It's gonna. You're going 40 knots, but you're essentially your airspeed is only 15 knots less than that. So
yeah.
To stay up in the air, you're gonna have to have more power than you think.
All right, easy now. We're somewhat stable here.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Ascari, this is like 16 knots over the ground.
When you're on the ragged edge, it's scary.
All right, I would say
all or nothing. Nice float down. Oh, now that might be considered a wing strike. Might be.
Ah, sure, there was loads of room, Your Honor, between the wing and the ground.
But I think you were okay. I think you made it.
That was just pure stall right before the end, right? I reckon we got it. So that means I would be scoring. Now here's one, right? See the way I've landed there now, you know.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, Grim.
Like
Dougal.
Like someone who isn't straight, right? My
it's
scoring.
all about the pilot. It's your choice.
My score will be based on,
the refund?
26 feet as opposed to 22 feet, right?
Yeah, your furthest forward wheel is what's going to measure.
Okay. Who's that now? Now, hang on. Did he land or is he going to take off, Toto?
I think he landed there behind you.
Ah, no, he didn't. Sure, that wouldn't happen at all.
Can't prove anything.
What's the shortest landing you've seen?
Ooh, under 10 feet for landings and under 10 feet for takeoffs, and it's all because of that wind.
Under 10 feet for takeoff?
Yeah. Now, for example, we had our best conditions of the year at our last event.
Right.
I put down my best score. My combined score was 36 feet, and I got third place.
No way! Combined 36. So, like, my takeoff.
First place had like 24 combined. Second place had 29, and I had 34.
Wow.
Or 35.
Wow, that's awesome. But again, though, I mean, it's taking part, which is going to be fun as well. I mean, you'll always come across those who are just like gifted.
The fun thing is too, we were all three of us were in different planes as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
This is no
Savage Carbon versus Kit Fox versus Savage Gravel.
Yeah, I mean, and what is that? Have you tried that other one? The is that it there? The Comanche? Or not the Comanche, the Chinook.
Yeah. The Chinook we don't have in there yet. It will be in though, I imagine, by next season.
Okay. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see some of the other aircraft for sure. So what's this?
We're looking forward to all the new planes to get in there.
It's going to be fun, man. Right, what's this taxi business then?
Oh yes, let me go to parking.
Okay.
I'll go back to parking over here. Now the wind is taking me away. Sorry, Blaze. And this is a real thing that happens during competitions. If you're taxiing and you wing strike because of the wind, and when you turn a corner, if they catch that on camera, you'll be out of the competition. It considers it, even when you're not competing, when you're just taxiing, you can nose over. If that's caught on the camera, Well, then you're done.
No way.
So over here we have rows. There's rows of parking here with these blue cones.
Mm-hmm.
Every class will be in their own row, front to back. This is kind of a weird configuration here. There's only 3 parking spaces. Like I'm in number 1 right here. There'll be 2 more behind me, and it goes down the line like that.
Okay.
So we might have, say we have 6 planes for unlimited class, which the Norden would be in.
Mm-hmm.
It would be me, somebody behind me, and someone behind them, and then right next to me there might be another row, 1, 2, and 3, and that would be our 6.
Okay.
So the competition, the production crew would say, "Oh, hey, all right, you guys can move up for your showcase." So we'll get staged up for our showcase here. One by one, we'll follow each other out, and we're gonna end up on the direction with the headwind. So we're gonna turn left here,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna taxi at maybe just above walking pace, whatever's safe. Maybe jogging pace. You don't want to tip over. When I turn this corner, it's going to be pushing my wing to the right.
Yeah.
So I got to be real careful. Keep that tail down. You might have to hold your stick back, get that trim super aggressive so you keep that tail planted, or else you have a risk of spinning, doing a ground loop. So what we would do is maybe I would stop right here at the flag, at the billboard here. Everyone would be staged up. There's Steffi behind me. Steffi's very familiar with this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Steffi is actually the one that created our eSTOL tool.
Oh, nice.
Now, production would say, all right, we're ready for showcase. All right, you know, we have to have the YouTube ready, no commercial break going.
Mm-hmm.
So one by one, I would pull up here. The next person would wait where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd pull up to this box up here. This is where the camera tent is. This is where Burstix is inside this trailer here.
Uh-huh.
And I would park. Don't nose over. If you nose over here, you're done. So you got to make sure you're coming slow. Don't let it tip over.
That'd be like the best thing to do. Fantastic. Here's our new entrance. No,
Look,
he's not.
We're in a tailwind here. We're in a strong tailwind right here. So you have to be really careful. So they'll talk about us on the YouTube for about 30 seconds. The ground boss on comms will tell you, all right, Callie, you can move up. And the next person would come up and get their 30 seconds.
Okay.
Now, we only do this once for each class.
Okay.
We'll do our 3 runs after this is all complete.
Okay.
So then I'll pull up here. Since I'm first, I'm free to get staged on the line, ready to go. The next person will line up behind me, and so on. Everyone will take a slightly wider turn to get lined up behind each other. So we don't want anyone running into each other.
Oh, so single file, one behind the other.
Yep. I'm going to be real careful in this line. I'm in third-person view just so I can see my wheels.
Yeah.
And I'll stop right there. All right. So I'm actually a little bit over the line. I could have stopped another like 2 feet shorter than that. That might register me as... So the distance starts at the back of the white line. That's where the 0 foot is.
Okay.
So right now, I'm actually sitting at like 2.5 to 3 feet.
Okay.
And one by one, Steffi will get behind me right there, and the Chinook, I think that is. No, that's the... I don't have the Chinook. That is the Arrow. We don't have the Arrow in eSTOL, actually. So we'll have up to 6 people in this heat, and they'll all line up together. And then once everyone's lined up, we're waiting for the production crew to give us the green flag. We'll get the green flag, and basically, first person up would be free to take off and start our 3-minute pattern. They always have new people in the back, so you don't have to worry about leading the group. If you are new, you'll have somebody to follow.
Okay. Okay, makes sense.
So 30 seconds later, we'll be counting them down.
Mm-hmm.
And so we keep everyone spaced out evenly.
That's
crazy. That's how the showcase takes place on the ground. We do that at the beginning of each heat, beginning of each one. But now we're free to do our 3 runs. We'll do our pattern. I'm going to make a short pattern here, just in the sake of time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do a short pattern, come back around. And I'll show you what we do once we land.
So question there from Flying Digs, is VR allowed? I think it is, right?
Yes, and full motion rigs are allowed as well. And you don't have to have rudder pedals. You don't have to have any equipment. You can compete with an Xbox controller at 720p if you wish. It's all up to what you've got.
Nice.
What you have available to you.
Neil says,
Now,
guys,
you guys
I
have
can't
probably
see
seen
you.
Smitty in the full motion rig. If you have a full motion rig, it's in the rule book, you have to wear a 5-point harness. If you don't, you're DQ'd.
Really? Brilliant. Neil says, can't see in 2024, Southeast Asia. Are you on by any chance Sim Update 4? Also, Mr. Longbow, welcome in. If I've missed anyone, lads, you're very welcome in. This is a different kind of flying altogether. Oh,
We're in a bit of a free-for-all here.
There's been a terrible accident. It's all right, Blaze. Quick, no one saw it. Run away into the trees.
Yep. That's a DQ.
Poor old Blaze, and he got a terrible blast there as well. But we can blame
When
you.
someone noses over on my stream, I make a point to say, wow, that was embarrassing.
All right, so it's all happening now. So Angels 1-5 looks to be blasting off, and then we're gonna get Cali coming in.
All right, here we go. See, I'm coming in kind of high. I like being up here until I get much closer.
Yeah.
Lots of smoke on the ground. I got lots of smoke on the ground. This is not a distraction at all.
See?
Cutting power and dropping down. Now, I'm floating a lot because of that wind. I could have cut that a lot sooner.
Okay. Well, you'd stopped within 50.
Yeah. In this weather, if I, after a bit of practice, I would get it definitely under 20 feet. That's what you'd shoot for.
Okay.
So what happens here? We touch down, and the ground boss is going to say, clear. Basically, we've got your score. Your score has been registered. So I would pull off to the left here.
Okay.
There's someone coming in behind me 30 seconds away, as soon as I touch down.
Oh, so you want to get out of there. Yeah.
Aggressively get out of the way, safely and aggressively.
Mm-hmm.
And I would line up right here at this eSTOL flag. Right here.
And then
the next person would come in to land. They would do their thing. They'd get the clear to vacate the runway. And they would come in behind me, just like Steffi's doing right now. And we'd line up again, just like this, until the final person comes down.
Nice, okay.
Once the final person is down, the first person up is free to move back up to the line and start their second attempt. And we do that 3 times.
And that's it. I mean, then you're on to the
That's
next
it.
category.
It's as easy as that. You're done with it. In 15 minutes, you're done. And you're like, what happened? You're going to spend more time waiting for your turn than anything else. And hanging out with the Discord and chatting with everybody. And then your competition's over before you know it, once you're up.
Yeah. That's awesome, though. It really is awesome.
Hello there.
Neil D, are you on Sim Update 4, buddy? I think that's where you're getting caught. Johnny, welcome in. This is so much fun. There's Captain Butters coming in with speed, man.
All right, I'm going to try to do super aggressive takeoff.
The skills at this, man, it's crazy. It's all
what are you
about
flying,
having
Butters? That's not what he's flying. He's flying something else.
He's in a Harrier. It's all about having fun. National STOL. Couldn't have said it any better.
Ugh.
Yep. Right, there goes one. Heisenberg. Oof. Nice.
See, I raised my flaps and my plane immediately dropped down by the end of the runway. You have to be careful not to touch down again.
It's crazy. It's so good seeing so many folks here. So yeah, as soon as you land off the runway as sharpish as you can.
Did anyone see the dinosaurs in the pond to our left after you take off?
Dinosaurs?
There's dinosaurs in the pond. After you take off, look to the left in that pond.
You're joking.
No. There's there's dinosaurs there at this airport. At the museum there, yeah.
Man, it's so mad looking. I mean, when you see it in the real world, you're like, that can't be possible, but it is. Whoa.
Double ender would be in spec class, Colonel Fork. Every year we have one particular plane in spec class every round. So it's in the rule book too. It shows a schedule of each spec plane. Like everyone will be in, say, the double ender for one round, of the year in spec class, and everyone competes with the same weight, the same fuel. The only difference is the pilot, and it's pilot v pilot in the same plane. We don't have any twin props in any of the main classes. No twin props.
No twins. Okay. Captain Butters.
They would be relegated to a spec class.
It's quite amazing, and considering then as well, I mean, this is open to Xbox pilots, and I imagine it's only a matter of time at some stage, you know, although you'd have to probably run those events on the PlayStation Network separately, so there'd be a PlayStation only event without crossplay, but you could technically have this on PlayStation, right?
Yeah, as far as I know, the PlayStation doesn't have a marketplace at all, though, available to them.
Well, they'll have the in-sim marketplace.
Do they?
Well, they will have, but there's no crossplay.
Oh, they will
so,
eventually? Okay.
Yeah. But like the idea of it being is you could run eSTOL just on PlayStation. You know, or until like we shout loud enough and like someone somewhere says, all right, go on, you can have crossplay.
I'm really bummed out that PlayStation isn't in our servers, you know?
Yet. Hashtag exclamation point. Soon.
Yet.
We make enough noise, they'll throw it in there just to shut us up, you know?
That was a scratch.
Was it a scratch?
Okay, this brings up something important.
Okay.
Even if you scratch and your run is over, you have to come to a complete stop on the runway for it to register your score. Even if it's a scratch.
Even if it's a
now,
scratch.
There is a way to protest your score. If you think that something went wrong and it wasn't recorded correctly, or you got this score, but they say you scratched and you don't think you did, you can submit a ticket within a timely manner, and get it solved within 24 hours. We have to rewatch the VOD, you know, watch your footage to see what happened.
Okay.
The important thing is not to get discouraged if something happens during the event and your scores don't show up correctly on screen. Don't be like, oh, I got this. We have to fix it right away. That's not right. Like, I've had times where my scores weren't correct, and it shows up that maybe I got 4th place overall, when really I might have got 2nd place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that'll be fixed up later behind the scenes. Unfortunately, It might not show up on the stream, you know, live.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of let your ego go a little bit and just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And let everything run its course. Nice.
Well, it's great that we can see this now, and you know, Kladsky, look at this state of Kladsky, that was amazing. It's great now that folks get an idea. I mean, understanding how the competition works, some of the do's and don'ts, in terms of, you know, the parade, right? Your taxi parade, when you land, full stop, get off the runway as quickly as you can, and like, you know, it's important to note that when you land and you stop, your score is registered. You don't take off again. You circle back around, back into the queue, right? Okay.
Yeah, and if you have to go around, and that means we're out of order, basically. So, like, there's a particular order on the YouTube stream where everyone is in order. The flight director will switch to each name. Now, the name might not be correct on stream anymore if you're out of order once you get back up in the air.
Gotcha.
So what we have to do is shuffle back into order on the ground once everyone's down.
Okay. Makes sense.
A couple of things here. PC issues can happen, like I said. You could have a sim crash, you could have stutters. We try to mitigate any stutters as much as possible by... You do not want to leave the server or enter the server when anyone's competing. Everyone has to be on the ground, because we don't want a stutter to happen right when someone's trying to touch down on their landing. It's going to ruin their score.
Yeah.
So that's one of the do nots. Do not leave the server. Do not enter the server while the competition is going on. Wait till someone in Discord says, okay, you can spawn in now. And then we'll get you back into the sim, especially if your sim crashes, and so that you can still compete. You might lose a round, you might lose 2 rounds, you might only have 1 attempt if your PC crashes, but we'll get you back in there.
Nice.
Another thing is we have all age groups. We have someone as young as 14 in eSTOL. We have someone as old as 81 years old.
No way.
What we really want to stress, starting more recently, it's because we just got our 14-year-old resident in there, is we want to keep things in the Discord and voice and a PG rating. It tends to get vulgar at some points, but we really want to keep that PG. PG-13. PG-13.
Be mindful of the little ears. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Always communicate with your ground boss. Listen to what they're saying and do what they say. They're trying to get it so everything runs smoothly, and they're communicating with the production crew. So all you have to do is fly your run, but if they tell you to go around, you should go around. Don't try to land, even if they're telling you to go around, just do it. It's for safety issues and to keep everything running smooth. And for slewing. So say you nose over.
Yes.
What do I do? You're freaking out. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Like your first instinct is to slew out of there.
Yeah. Kladsky only did that because he knew we were going to mention slew. That 100%.
There you go.
Yeah,
so what Kladsky would do here is double tap his slew key. So he rights his plane.
Okay.
Do not slew across the ground. It creates a huge cloud of dust. It just does not look good. It looks terrible. So you double tap your slew key, right your plane up. If you need to start your plane up, start it up, and slowly taxi away and go back to parking. Basically, your day is done if you nose over. So,
and like that's it. You're done. That's it. It doesn't matter if it's on your first try or second try. Like if you nose, that's it. Game over.
Steffi makes a point there. He added a button on the eSTOL tool. He keeps updating it constantly to make it more improved for us. He has an unflip button on the app. It'll unflip your plane.
Oh, nice.
It'll also transport you if you want directly to the line from parking. If you want to practice, you just want to get on the line and go, you can teleport right to the line at every event.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now, we don't do that in the competition. You have to taxi and do the proper procedures. But in practice, you're free to do what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
It's important that everyone that competes is in Discord, ready for the debriefing 1 hour before the event start time. And it always runs on a Saturday at the same time, every event.
It's I can like, we got a lot of folks here who are not new to this, but we also have a lot of folks here who are new to this, and hopefully we're going to see them competing, because it's ridiculous fun, and like it's a very different type of flying, like, and I love that.
Formula fan, I'm going to that hurricane tomorrow morning when it makes landfall. There's a big hurricane about to hit Jamaica.
Yeah. Man, this is so much fun. Right, guys, anyone have any questions in the chat for itzNorCally or anything with the national eSTOL?
Fire away.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Captain Butter says, really recommend it. Norcali certified me on Friday. Was a lot of fun. It's a completely different type of flying altogether. Yes, Muse Van. Brilliant.
And it's strange for me. This is the only type of flying I do. To me, this is not strange. This is normal. To me, what's not normal is trying to fly an airliner.
Yeah. itzGlow wants to know what your favorite airliner is.
I haven't flown it yet, but I'm going to say it's the ATR because it's very bushy.
The ATR, that's a good shout. Jalagod, real nice. Heisenberg, nice. Yeah, I think
I'm going to fly my first airliner stream on Wednesday, actually, for Halloween week. A spooky ATR flight, bushing.
Yeah, to be fine. Nothing to worry about at all. What aircraft is Toto flying? Good call. It looks like...
Hey, morning, MP.
It looked like the Norden.
Now, I've competed in 2 different planes. All last season, I was in the Savage Carbon.
Okay.
And then all this season, I was in the competition Kit Fox. But I switched it up for the final 2 events of the year. I wrapped up first place in the season standings with the Kit Fox.
Okay.
2 events left in the year. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to my plane from last year. So
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
I'm in the Savage Carbon again.
No.
And you're free to do that as long as you let production chat know that you are switching planes
what
for
you're
the
doing.
next event.
Yeah. Nice. itzGlow, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Cheers. Best plane is the stock Savage Cub, says MP Troll.
MP Troll is, that's what he competes with in the eSTOL. And he is our one Xbox competitor right now.
Oh.
So we have to That's another thing about Xbox is they can't use that eSTOL tool. PC users are required. You have to use the eSTOL tool.
Yeah.
Now, that makes it easy for judging your scores. For Xbox, we have to do a visual. We have to visually look at their scores. It might not be exact compared to the PC guys, but we'll still get the scores as close as we can to what you got.
There's Toto. Yeah, it looks like the Norden. It is a Norden.
I really want to compete with the Norden. I'm hoping, ADK, if you're listening, to get the Norden in for our spec class plane for our event in less than 2 weeks. Right now, it's scheduled to be the Savage Carbon, but the Norden was not out yet. We now have the Norden in 2020.
Nice. Flying Dick says, just joined the Discord. I look forward to learning more about it. I had no idea this existed. Sounds awesome. Yeah, dude, isn't it awesome? Like, it's mad, and like I only see this growing. I really do, because it's fun, it's balanced, you know, there's no modifications that you're doing. Everything has a balanced level playing field. And yeah, okay, look, you're battling against other, you know, competitive or combatants, if you like, other pilots, but you're more fighting against yourself because the weather and the aircraft. You know, it's pretty cool. So I see this getting very, very popular. I really do, because it's so much fun.
I believe we have 10 events right now total throughout the season.
Okay.
10 to 12. I'm not sure the exact number.
Yup. Man, that Scout can really get
airborne. The world record? The world record for us is under 10-foot takeoff, under 10-foot landing. Real world, I'm not sure. They've had guys that take off in less than 10 feet for sure. Like, think Steve Henry.
Sounds like there's an opportunity for an eSTOL standalone sim that could cover all the platforms. Maybe. When will there be a Firefly Air League? Well, I want you guys to take part in this. I mean, it's what you're going to.
Anyone here that's watching that likes what they see and they want to join us for the final event of the year, you can get you still have time to get yourself certified to get ready for the event in less than 2 weeks.
Nice.
We encourage anyone to join as soon as they can, because as soon as you get all your jitters out of your system, the nervousness, like I said, it takes a good 3 events before you get comfortable. At least it did for me and from people that other people I've talked to.
Like, it's gas. It's it's something so simple yet brilliant. And even you go back to the grassroots of when STOL pretty much started off and how it kind of carved its way out now into, you don't want to say an extreme sport, but like it's the skill. And like from the real world perspective, what STOL brings to them, what National STOL brings to folks is better pilots, because, well, you know, they're able to fly the aircraft on the other side of the spectrum, and it also makes them safer pilots because they can control the things. It's fantastic. It really is. It's
like
absolutely
MP
brilliant.
says his best practice was takeoff 0, land 5 feet.
What?
And you know, it must have been very windy. But as Fox Fly says, nerves can half your scores easily. You're not going to get those practice scores in competition. It's going to be very, very hard. You have to get really lucky.
Holy
you
Song
only have
said,
3 tries.
I don't know. Holy Song says, I've realized if you ain't subscribed, your question doesn't get answered. Cheers, Murphy, real gent. What are you talking about?
I think you just proved him wrong.
Do you know, there's always one. Lads, if I don't, for whatever reason, get to answer you, just ask me again. You know? Like, if your message doesn't come across, there is a delay on the YouTube side, so try not to worry too much for that. I will see it, but like, yeah, if I don't get to you, just ask me again.
Can I get a refund?
There's no refunds. You can check off. Yeah, that's oh, Jalagod out of the side, took out the cameraman, disqualified.
Yep, Colonel Ford, no Astro Ones. In that respect, no helis are allowed.
No helis. Brilliant. Ready to see Murph compete? Could you imagine if I did this? Jesus.
Yeah, MP Troll is one of our trainers as well. Brown Dog is one of our trainers. I'm a trainer. Red Baron Flies is a trainer. We have several. A few more.
There's a fairly big team, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And we're always looking for volunteers. If anybody wants to volunteer as, like, say you own every plane. We need people that own every plane that we compete with, so that if you want to be a cameraman, you don't even have to compete. You can join in just to be part of the camera crew if you wish.
Nice. Oh, Jay, look how dark it's gotten. Right, hang on. We'll go for another little maneuver and see what happens, right? Where's this now? We aim for hot air balloons. What, really? Wait, hang on, where am I? Oh no, I went straight. Hang on, don't mind me for a second. I forgot entirely where I was. I'll go behind the cameraman. It'll be grand. Where if you don't start competing, you'll have Mr. Two-Tone for the kitchen. Wait, hang on. Colonel Fork just got timed out. What happened there? Colonel Fork, don't mind it. The bots here are nuts. He never replies to me.
I think he did that. I can get timed out too. Watch. Message deleted by moderator.
Cheeky Devil says I don't respond either.
See? I got deleted too.
How'd you do
what
that?
Happened?
Jesus. It's a tough crowd tonight. They're all giving out to me. Jesus. Feel free to join the Discord. Yeah, we'll have to put a link, another link to the Discord here now in a second. Yep. Right now. Just untimed you. Scottish people. Who's Scottish? Cheeky Devil. Jesus then if you think I'm Scottish. Ooh. It's a tough night, lads, isn't it? Bloody hell.
We've had people nose over in taxiing and they didn't even get their first attempt. Yeah, it's happened.
It wasn't me this time, said Scott, right? I'll try again. If Murphy doesn't compete in eSTOL, he'll have to have time to make the Mrs. Kitchen. No way. Long story about really interesting stuff deleted. Jonks, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. What's your name? Airlock Dog. You've asked me 3 times, yeah. Jesus, it's terrible. Right, anyway. Let me see here now. Any other questions there, lads? I might do another lap and we'll see what happens. And if you're new to this, you can download the sceneries over on flightsim.to. We're on the Southeast Asian server if you want to come in and give it a lap.
Oh yeah, you wanted to check out second scenery as well, Arklahoma.
Oh yes. Actually, we'll go there now. We'll go straight to Arklahoma, right? So let's jump off this one. Let me know about the assistance rules, says Captain Butters. That's to...
Assistances, yes. So...
Oh, good call.
We have assistances such as auto trim, that kind of things inside the sim.
So the sim assistant stuff, yes.
We do a fuel check before everyone starts their planes in their heat. And we also run an assistances check. And unless you have prior authorization, like if you have a disability, you can use it. You just have to have it approved ahead of time.
Okay.
So we run no assistances in the sim. You can run whatever turbulence you want, low, medium, high, or realistic. It's up to you. It's going to be more of a challenge on realistic, but generally we all run low or medium turbulence. You're free to choose. But yeah, assistances are not allowed unless prior authorization is approved.
Makes sense.
So our airport. It's cloudy out here.
Thank you, Anov. Yeah, we got that. Cheeky Devil, I'm on Xbox. You can
compete on Xbox.
You can compete on Xbox. So the scenery is available from the Instant Marketplace. That's where you pick it up. But yeah, that's a good one with the assistant stuff for sure. Let's have a look here now.
There it is. Oscar Lima 42.
That's the one.
Oscar Lima 42 is the airport.
Is it raining here? No, not yet, but it will be.
It's very cloudy out here.
Whose idea was this? Right, let's
run custom weather. Make it pretty.
Okay, but look, I mean, no trees really.
Yeah, you have hills off to the side, little hills.
Yeah.
This airport does not run directly north-south or east-west. It has an angle to it. There's different things. The hardest part, I think, is sometimes just finding the pattern at each of the events because the scenery is completely changed. around you.
It's nuts, isn't it?
We had one event in Oregon this year. The day started out with 0 visibility. It was like 10 feet in front of our faces.
No way.
And then by the time the live weather, by the time we started the competition, live weather, the fog had burned off just in time. We couldn't see 2 feet in front of our faces.
That's crazy. What was Heisenberg flying? It looked like the A32, didn't it? I think so.
So all of these locations are the real life locations that they compete.
Oh, nice.
They compete here, and then 1 week later, we're competing here. We're 1 week after the real life competitions.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, and like I was saying that earlier on, like, I mean, you could be following along the real world stuff and plan a whole load of group flights just flying to each and every different venue, right?
Yeah, that's something I do on my stream. I've had a whole track that started out in April, and I've been crisscrossing the country in bush planes, flying whatever the next spec plane is to the next event. Because I always join spec as well as my main class.
That's awesome.
So, get this though. Wisconsin this year at Sodbus. The prior event before that was in Washington State. I flew from Washington State all the way to Wisconsin in the J3 Cub.
Oh, you felt that.
It took 7 streams.
No way. Got friends, you mad bunch of mad things. 25 gifted subs out to the community here. That's huge. Got friends, thank you very, very much indeed.
Legend.
He fell on his phone again, the poor old devil. You know, he 2, and he forgot there was a 5. Thank you very, very much. Lads, if you've just got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Got Friends. Well, do be sure to say thank you in the chat. Incredible support, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. Brilliant. Now, who is your man giving out that I don't say hi to people unless they're subscribed? I've no excuses now because everyone's subscribed. Look. Jesus. That's incredible support. Thank you very, very much indeed. Funding the STOL gods of the future. It's so much fun. Right, we're going to do a flight on this one. And I kind of like that. I mean, okay, there's no mad obstacles we need to worry about straight away. And it's the same sort of course, but it's going to be very different now because different weather, right?
Different weather, yeah. Different direction for wind. We might take off from one side. We might take off from the other side. The pattern is the same, though. It's still like if you take off the direction where everyone's staged up there, those 2 guys, Toto and DCS, it's going to be a left-hand pattern.
Left-hand pattern. Nice.
If you take off from the other side, you'll be doing a right-hand pattern.
Right. Let's see now if we can. There's the amount of is here already. Let's see what we can do here, right? How many national, or how many of the... Oh yeah, there's a great question. Is there...
Somebody's inside of me.
Where do we go from here? Isn't there... oh no. The question that Colonel Fork asked, is there crossover from the real world pilots of National eSTOL? Have they tried out... of National STOL, have they tried out eSTOL?
We've had one person do it. That's a real life pilot at National STOL.
Okay.
We want more, obviously, to do it.
Okay, so this is a left hand, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Right, let's see what happens. Off the brakes. Yep, see daisy. I was off there in about 12 centimetres, I'd say. Right, let's see what happens. Ian Fisher, good evening. MedF Sim, good to see it. We had several interested, but most of them don't have much time. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Are there any... Yeah, great question though, Matt. And Colonel Fork. Great questions, guys.
In the real life events, when a pilot's not competing, they're on the ground, on the side of the runway, running down alongside the planes, measuring distances that they land at. So what we can do in Flight Sim 2024 now is we can actually have people on the ground running alongside the plane.
Yeah. I love it, man. MP says we've lots of real pilots who fly in eSTOL, but only one from National STOL. Okay. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? It's not true,
Captain
Murph.
Butters?
You started calling me an idiot long before I subscribed. Right? Formal protest. I only understand metric. Please change your distance to real units.
So every event is in the United States currently. We have to use freedom units. I'm sorry, only freedom units. Maybe we'll go international at some point.
There we go.
You know, with eSTOL, we can do that with eSTOL.
You can do that with eSTOL, yeah. Hey, the Limbics here, good to see you. Would there ever be a national STOL eSTOL event at Air Venture?
Is Air Venture now? Is that
Oshkosh? I'd say, is it?
Oshkosh? So we have an event that's just south of Oshkosh. Heritage STOL. No, we were just at Heritage. Sodbusters, and that is in. Remind me the town that one's in, chat. It's just south of Oshkosh.
Just south of Oshkosh.
There you go, Hartford, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Ah. What are you talking about using proper Imperial units? Right? Can 2020 diehards compete also? Ask Kazaki Flyer. Yeah.
Yes.
At the
Currently,
moment, it's only on
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're practicing with 2024 here, because most people are in 2024 at this point. I carry both sims with me. I have 2020 installed. I've never deleted it. But if you're not in eSTOL, you really have no reason. Or if you're not specifically flying airliners, not doing GA stuff, you might still be on 2020. But other than that, most everybody moved over.
Interesting. If you're only helping and not flying, how do you spawn in? What do you mean? You'd be
so if you're in the camera crew at these events, they're on the ground with us.
Yeah, they're spawned in. Yeah. I was going off for a bit of a country drive there. I only realised I bypassed the airport completely, but it's all right. We're back on the straight and narrow.
How's the wind here? Yeah, is it a crosswind?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Little bit.
So, from my experience at these events, having no wind, zero wind, is much harder than having any other type of wind.
Oh, really, yeah?
For some reason, it's very hard in the sim to fly with zero wind.
All right. Hey, Gamer, good to see you. Right, easy now. Oh, Jesus. Easy now.
Next up would be a straight crosswind. Straight crosswind is very difficult.
Ooh, this
I can show you another thing on the line here.
Yeah.
So let's find the wind. And I'll show you how you're able to angle your plane into the wind on takeoff. You don't have to start out straight with both wheels on the line.
Okay.
So I'm coming up. We have a headwind coming from the left side. It's a quartering headwind from the left side. So what I can do, as long as my rearmost tire main gear is touching the line, I can stage myself into the wind like this. Pointed towards the left and not straight at the runway. You might have to pull up a little more.
Okay, so you can kind of go side on. Right, okay.
Now I'm going to move up there. You'll see, there we go. Now both my main gear, at least my rearmost main gear is on the line. My front one can be over the line because I'm angled that direction.
Okay.
The thing is you don't want to angle your plane further than the furthest flag down the runway. That's the limit.
That's the limit. Okay.
So you can give yourself more of an advantage, a little more headwind that way. More of a direct headwind.
And you'll be airborne within 20 feet. Well, 40 feet.
Let's see. I have a 9 knot. Okay. Yeah, it'll be pretty short. Here we go.
Wow, 40 feet. That's nuts. That's nuts. You couldn't get it that slow, Dory, Steffi. Stu says, not my type playing in the sim, but it is great fun to watch. Yeah. Roy says, are there also hover competitions if the weather allows? No, but we occasionally run other fun forms of stall. Nice.
Yeah. We were hovering at our last event, and we were just hovering in Virginia Beach as well with that wind.
Nice.
The hardest part is when the wind switches up on you. You start off with a headwind, and then by your second or third run, the wind flips on you and it turns into a tailwind, and you just have to deal with that. We don't switch sides, mid-heat. So your takeoff and distances are going to be much longer with even the slightest tailwind versus a headwind.
It's so cool to see everyone taking part in this. I love it, man. It's class. And like, it starts off all nice, and then it gets competitive. And then
we used to run the experimental class, Jonks. And that's what the double ender was in. We used to have like various planes that didn't fit into any one category grouped together at the end as their own category. But then we turned it into the spec class, where we put everybody in the same plane, and it's a different plane every event. We'll try to use planes that don't get used very often, or ones that don't fit into any of the classes.
Yeah.
That's where the double ender sits now.
How do I go to Sim Update 3 on Xbox? Are you on Sim Update 4, Neil D? Gamer says, can I have $700 for me setup, please? As soon as I get it, sure, it's one of those nights, isn't it? Jesus! Next week, we're going to be talking in Irish only. Yeah, that'll sort that mess out.
Now, I decided not to land there. I was really close to the ground, but I'm like, this landing is garbage. I went way over the line. I didn't touch down. I powered up, and I'm going around.
Now, do you have to report
that?
Do you need to report that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Communicate with your ground boss. Say, I'm going around.
Okay. That's awesome. Sora, welcome in.
Then the
Cheers, buddy.
Ground boss will tell the production crew he's going around, so they know too on cameras.
They know the crack then. Yes. Oh man, it's like that Norden is so good. Get it in there quick. Yep,
Yeah.
see Daisy.
I'm gonna put my word in to try to, maybe we'll do a vote in the eSTOL Discord about if we want to use the Norden instead of the Carbon for our final event in spec class, because it's not approved yet to be flown in the regular main classes yet.
Oh, it's awesome, man. It's
Steppy and Anov again, +1.
All right, so we have Toto, Norcali, Heisenberg coming in, Angels 1-5. It's a slightly harder course to navigate, but like 2 or 3 laps, you're going to be fine.
This one is a bit more harder, I think. It's a little bit harder to find the runway here.
Yeah.
Now, there is no airport here in the sim. This is a one-off airport. It's just a dirt field in the sim. They don't have it. It's the only one of our eSTOL sceneries that don't have a main airport attached to it.
Ooh, a 60-footer and an 80-footer. That was close.
It's really easy to try too hard and to nail it 1 centimeter, over the line. That it ends up hurting you because you end up scratching, and then you try it again, you scratch again, and then before you know it, you only have 1 attempt and you have no score.
Yeah.
You have to put down a score if you want any points. There's a real strategy to what you do each round.
Man, that's awesome.
And it's all up to the pilot, pilot choice on how you want to go about on your strategy.
So you could say, look, my approach is bad, and that's a valid reason for going around.
Yeah, yep. As long as you let people know you're going around, yeah.
Okay.
And as long as you don't touch your wheels down anywhere on the runway or before the runway.
Delegate is having all sorts of crack there. Oh, nice.
Now, our time change in the U.S. is this next weekend.
Okay.
We'll be caught up with you again next week.
Yeah, we're slightly out of sync, 100%. Oh, no, it's awesome. Listen, Norcali, dude, thank you so very much indeed for joining us here tonight and just giving us this insight. I think for a lot of folks watching, this has been the first time they've probably seen this all kind of come together, and now have a decent understanding, I'd say you guys would be confident now. I mean, get yourself registered, give it a blast, see what happens, see can you take part in this year's final event, which is coming up very, very soon. You're going to be streaming. You're streaming later on today or tonight, right?
I streamed this morning. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm glad to help out. And,
Not at all.
And spread the word. I run these on my stream all the time. These trainings and descriptions, exactly what I've shown you here. But sometimes we'll go in depth with the rules all the way down, and show people. But yeah, I was streaming this morning. If there's a nice center eye wall of that hurricane that's about to hit Jamaica in the sim, then I want to go fly over there so find the eye. Or I might, I'm going to check it out. My next official stream is Wednesday, though. Wednesday morning.
It's Wednesday. Okay, well, guys, I've just shared itzNorCally's Twitch channel here in the chat. Do ramble over. Do be sure to drop a like and a follow. Or if it's on Twitch, a follow. I don't know where I'm at anymore. I'm on the internet. Yeah, that's where you'll find me. But no, thank you very, very much indeed for joining. And a shout out as well to Fox, who's been kind of orchestrating things with us here in the background. This is so cool. And remember, when you kind of bundle it all together, when you look at the likes of our STOL flying and back country flying, and then you can kind of see, well, look, this is its own avenue. I mean, you can get into the competitive space with this. It's great to know that there is a full championship already sitting there waiting for us, which is brilliant. So it's so much fun. An incredible amount of work has gone into this. You can clearly see it just a lot from the sceneries alone.
Super Typhon. You're very welcome. And he mentions that I'm as much of a bush guru as Kando. Kando is very good at the technical and explaining the dynamics of everything. I'm more of I feel the plane. I don't know anything about the specifics of it. I just feel it. I'm kind of a weird that way. But Kando is the one that trained me. When he was a brand new streamer, I was one of the few guys. Some days it was just me and him on his stream, and he's teaching me one-on-one on how to land and take off a tail dragger.
No way!
So he was my mentor through all this, teaching me how to fly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Me, on the other hand, I just listen to good people like yourself and Kando, and then I'm like, yeah, I know what to do. That's,
Yeah. It sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. I know a guy who I know a guy who knows that, But no, listen, dude, I want to thank you so very, very much indeed. It's a great insight, and we'll be back here. I mean, this is something I'm going to throw my arm at just for the giggles, right? But I think we're going to get a lot of folks in our own community to give this a shot, because watching them even fly here tonight, it's been incredible.
Remember, have fun doing it. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about having fun, and I think there's going to be so much fun with this. Definitely. So listen, Norcali, we'll let you go, buddy, but thank you so very, very much indeed for tuning in, for spending time with us and explaining things, and we'll catch you on the next one.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.
See ya. All right, guys, that was Norcali. Do be sure to follow that link and ramble over to his Twitch channel there. Just awesome guy, spending so much time just to explain what everything is all about. And as I say, I mean, you can track what they're doing in the real world when it comes to National STOL, and you can track it from eSTOL as well. It's incredible to think that this entire thing is already up and running, and they're only asking for folks to go in and give it a try. So give it a try for sure. So I want to thank you all so very much. Got friends as well. Unbelievable support tonight. Really appreciate it, lads. And to everyone in the chat for tuning in. If I didn't get around to everyone tonight, I do apologize. But like, such is life. It's if I don't answer you, I don't ignore. Unless you're being a complete gobshite, then I'll ignore you. But I try not to ignore people. So see how it goes, But fantastic stuff. Now, we've no streams tomorrow, but we're back on Wednesday at 2000 Zulu time for this week's Flight Sim news. So looking forward to that already. So enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely evening, and we shall see you all on Wednesday. Until then, you take care. Engines are now off. I've just killed the mixture, right? Watch this. Mags are off. feather both props. My engines are now completely off, right? And I'll know they're completely off because I'm going to keep an eye on the props. They will just stop, right? Engine 1 stopped. Engine 2 stopped. That's the sound I should hear. This is the sound I do hear. What? What are you doing? Do you know what I mean? We need to clip this. Hey, Coronado, Microsoft and Asobo. 3 lads walk into a bar. This is how the sound should be. I've turned off my engines. However, if there's other aircraft of the same description flying from the Coronado fleet, this is what we hear. Lads are over there, so we'll have to do a bit of a chicane here. Mother of Jesus! Give out!
What the hell? I'm here.
Did you just see what happened to Give? Are you in the drink? You ended up in the
Water. This is possible.
Did you just see what?
What? There's I'm upside down in the water. I had a terrible accident.
That was
wasn't even moving.
That was like, oh Jesus.
Oh man, that was so funny.
Steiny, are you watching Twister or something? I mean, that was just... Holy crap. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. We're going in, that's it. There's no turning back at this stage. Jesus, mind the bears. Look at this big E just... Oh no, we're into dying. Quick, get out. Oh no, we're... Jesus. Oh. Ooh. Don't panic. Just hope for the best, Murphy. Oh, Jesus. Don't end in all fear and terrible. Yep. Oh.